your morning companion.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning
Your
companion.
day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Only on GhanaTalks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. When you see cause on
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning
from the
companion.
first light to the last mile. Stay with
This
us.
is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Thank God it's Friday. It's a beautiful Friday morning, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu. And this morning, I'll be serving you breakfast on the news review, and we are bringing you all the relevant stories making waves in the news. From business to politics, from sports to entertainment, we got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. Remember that we are streaming live on our socials, on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do want to join us this morning on the breakfast show. Let's serve you breakfast. Send in your suggestions, your opinions on the issues we'll be bringing on board this morning. And you know how I do it. I don't do it alone, but I come along with Miss Debbie and Miss Regina, who will be sharing their informed perspectives on matters that matter to you every morning right here on the show. Good morning to you, ladies, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
How are you doing, Miss Regina?
By grace, your side.
I'm doing great. You are looking beautiful, so African.
This one is personally made.
Yes, I'm so proud of you. Yes, she made that dress herself.
To complete the African nature, I have to borrow me your earrings.
My earrings. And they're very swapping. Miss Debbie, what's it doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
We are woko.
Nyamiado.
We then Yamenase. And Friday. And let me end it here. Today is Friday. Today is Friday. The weekend has already started. You know, Ghanaians are happy. Workers are happy. The school children are happy because when they sleep today, they know that they'll wake up at any time they want. Everyone.
The school children, they are already home.
They are already home.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Some people are going for classes.
Oh, okay.
Some people are going for classes. So the weekend there, it's cut across. Everyone is happy. Yes. Let's get into the details. And yesterday there was vetting, the vetting committee, and we saw the minority also doing what they are good at doing. But in all, how's the vetting for you, Miss Debbie?
Well, the betting was the betting. Sorry. The vetting was okay. It was fine by me. The only thing I found quiet off was when the minority was trying to make things quite complicated for the whole process. And in a way, I don't really blame him that much, because I think the first release from the presidency was to vet Zaneto into the Ministry of
appointed
Environment,
ministers.
and also Ayariga, the Defense Ministry. There was nothing like they appointing justices to the Supreme Court, but all of a sudden it came impromptu, and then they had to vet these people.
But they didn't inform the house.
It wasn't part of the whole thing. It just came impromptu, and that is why Afenyo Maki got quite pissed off that why will you give us a number of people you said you are going to vet, or the ministries you are going to vet these people to, and all of a sudden you've brought another person on board. We've even saw instances where the speaker said even the procedures the president used in reshuffling these people is off a bit. So you could see that there is a mess up somewhere, but I still see no reason why the minority should stage a walkout. But then they did. In fact, I was expecting them to do that, and they never disappoint. They staged a walkout, and that was because they felt like they are not supposed to sit in to vet the justices, because they felt like if you are saying you should vet 3 people, it should be 3 people and then we are done. Why should you bring in a new person? But then I feel like it is the orders from above. This is the president, and the president has the sole power over the legislative and those below him. And so regardless, you still need to, just go ahead and do it. But the stage a walkout, I wasn't surprised at all. As I said, I was expecting it. I was expecting them to stage a walkout, looking at how heated the argument was getting to, and then they walking out. I wasn't surprised at all. But all, the vetting was cool. It was okay. Just that some of the questions were kind of off, but these people, they know how to go about their job. So I cannot sit and rubbish their work here. It was good.
Right, Miss Regina, I saw you listening attentively while they were vetting Zaneto. I guess you were impressed.
I was really impressed with she wasn't using any filler words like she was just flowing. I was like, hey God, when this is an this is an Debbie, you started this too.
What did I do?
This is an evidence of good school. This is an evidence of great education. This is an evidence that indeed she's intelligent and she knows what she's doing. Looking at the position that she was being designated, I was like, can she? But the questions alone, when another umpire was asking the question, I was like, hey, what question is this? But she didn't even, it was like she already knows what to say. If it was to be someone, the person would have thoughts about the question before answering. But the moment another umbrella landed, she picked it up from there and started answering the questions. She's very intelligent, and I trusted that if this position is given to her, she can execute her mandate perfectly well. And to our father, Afenyo Makin, the minority leader, you from the start you said something that something they are good at
doing,
and that is working out.
I hope
always.
I didn't lie.
Oh, you didn't lie.
It's
They are
fact.
good at that. Parliaments, they work out. Vetting also, they work out. Vetting, this is not the first time they've worked out. And siding with what Debbie said, that in a way I understand him. According to him, they had a meeting and decided that the the judges nominations would be for October. And all of a sudden, they are having that vetting. He didn't understand that. And where, to me, it got funny was the point. Maybe I can say, you people are taking the majority thing too far. And I was like, you, when it was your turn, didn't you take it too far? I remember when they had an issue about majority and minority. He took it too far. If they addressed him as minority leader, he got so angry. I think a
One
city
journalist,
reporter.
yeah,
I
court
said, no,
reporter.
don't do that. Don't do that. So everyone has to take their position too far. And majority is exercising that duty. So you should let them be.
So tables have turned. So now the majority are taking things too far. Well, yesterday in the evening, it's been reported that Parliament has approved Mahama Yariga and also Zaneto Rollins. Yes.
Congratulations
So
to them.
congratulations. So they passed the vetting process. I admire Zaneto a lot. I do.
And
I
in
do.
a way, more ya sakakra.
Oh, sir.
Just that we need to producer.
Right.
You have a brother face. Hers is now.
It's the color.
Yeah.
The color tease part.
Yeah. And the cornrow.
She did it call.
Yes, we
All right, let's get into why minority actually boycotted the vetting of 3 Supreme Court nominees yesterday. Minority boycott vetting of 3 Supreme Court nominees. The minority in Parliament has boycotted the vetting of 3 Supreme Court nominees, objecting to what it described as an unnecessarily compressed timetable for the process. The minority argues that there is currently no vacancy on the Supreme Court bench to warrant the urgency attached to the appointment, insisting that the nominees are being considered to add to the existing complement of justices rather than fill vacant positions. Speaking before Parliament Appointments Committee on Thursday, August 27th, Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin said the objection was not against the principle of vetting or the nominees as individuals, but against the manner and time frame within which the process was being conducted. He challenged the majority to demonstrate what harm would be caused to the state, the judiciary or litigants if the nominees were subjected to the same level of scrutiny and consideration ordinarily applied to Supreme Court nominations. The minority stressed that its objection was not intended to disrupt the work of the appointment committee or embarrass the nominees, but to ensure that the process complied with parliamentary procedures and constitutional requirements. However, Chairman of the Appointment Committee, Bernard Ahiafo, dismissed the objection, describing the grounds raised by the minority as flimsy, hollow, and baseless. He said any member dissatisfied with the decision of the House must use the procedures provided under Parliament standing orders to seek a reversal. I will not proceed over this committee and purport to vary the orders or directions or decision taken at the plenary by the entire House. It is not done in any democracy, and I will not be the first to introduce it in Ghana's democracy, Ahiafo said. Mr. Ahiafo also rejected suggestions that the committee should treat the Supreme Court nominees differently from other nominees appearing before it. Following the chairman's decision, the minority led by Mr. Afenyo-Markin walked out of the vetting. Yes, so the article explains why the minority walked out yesterday during the vetting process. Miss Regina, do you think that this could have been an issue that would have been just solved right there instead of the minority being dramatic about it?
Okay, indeed dramatic. So when it comes to the minority, I think we shouldn't be surprised when they put up such attitudes, especially in Parliament or any kind of important meeting. In as much as I don't want to admit that they find joy in causing chaos, but I think I would have to yes, I would have to admit that they find joy in causing chaos. Because as a respected lawyer, as a respected minority leader, I believe that you should act disciplined, and also you should make sure that people look up to you in the positive aspects. Mind you, a lot of people were there it wasn't just this wasn't just another parliamentary banter where you can, excuse me to say, decide to be disorganized or whatever you deem fit. But this is a kind of vetting process that had dignitaries, important people there, and you behave this way, to me, is unacceptable. First off, the presidency had faith in you. Internal, all of you are there to vet these ministers who are supposed to be in power, in office, any of them. But I would say indirectly you disrespected the orders of the president. Let me put it that way. And also, it is your mandate to be there, whether it favors you or not. It is your duty to be there. It's just the same way as you being in parliament. People voted for you to be in parliament so that you would be an intermediary or you be a spokesperson for them on their behalf. Then you walk out. They can decide to say next time if you are voting, we didn't vote for someone who always walks out on important issues. So they're working out on this. I don't think that it was necessary. It was just dramatic. They were just being dramatic. This is an issue that could have been solved amicably. You could have paused the vetting process, go back doors and talk about it. Simple as ABC.
Rather than doing it in
front of all the people. And he made mention, in a way, I felt like he wanted to directly tell the chairman, that is Mr. Anhiafo, that he was being biased. When he was doing his back and forth, he made mention of the fact that someone called him to attend to something and he dismissed Zaneto.
So is he trying to insinuate that the house should have waited for him to
exactly be back? Any question in VA, and I said probably according to what he's saying, he feels like probably when he's there he would intimidate Zaneto.
Then why did he go out?
He said someone called him to attend to something briefly. And during that brief process, Mr. Chairman dismissed the Zaneto. And from the meaning I want to pick from his statement, I feel like Zaneto isn't someone you can intimidate. Whatever question you give to her, she would answer it. And we saw it. She answered it. So with Afenyo Makin, I don't really know what he's becoming, but he's becoming unbecoming. And I think it is high time they straighten him. As a leader, you need to act like one. If a leader is acting this way, automatically the subordinate will also pick over whatever you are doing. So with the working out, boycotting the SC vetting, it was totally out of the box.
Right. My question is, didn't they know before going into the vetting room? Because with the script they even read at the press conference yesterday when they boycotted vetting, you can see that it was prepared down already. So with this, couldn't they have sorted that issue backdoor even before going into the vetting room, rather than making it a whole charade again?
They could have.
Oh, don't worry, you can answer. Don't do that. Please, don't reject me.
Okay, so the little I know is they could have gone through the script, and if it was something that didn't really go according to what they've planned, they could have your friend is saying solved it. But according to him, he said the SC vetting wasn't part of it because they had already planned that they would do that in October. Into October and now they are doing it. He doesn't understand. Yeah, so that's what I can say.
Miss Debbie.
I wouldn't say the vetting committee, the people chairing the committee were not aware that the vetting of the justices will be done. But then I'm sure it came impromptu, or it came on a short notice. The minority leader is also one person that wants to, he's noted for creating scene at wherever he goes and wherever he finds himself. And so it's common with him. Now, one thing I want to say is that there are standing orders of every parliament. And this standing orders has to do with the manuals or the rules of this parliament, how parliaments are conducted, how issues are dealt with, who is supposed to speak, who is not supposed to speak, even what to say. So I'm sure that whatever you want to do, so long as it associated with Parliament, there are rules, there are procedures you need to follow. And so if that rules are not followed, in a way, it's like you are going against the rules of Parliament, and which is not supposed to be so. In fact, you are violating those rules. That is why from my first submission, I said, in a way, the minority has a point. But the way or the rate at which he went towards the whole issue was bad. His approach towards it was bad. I mean, you don't speak to the chair. Yes, we are all chairing a committee, but in as much as maybe the four of us has been appointed to vet people, there is one person that will be designated to steer the affairs. So we are all here, but then Bernard Ahiafo has been appointed to steer the affairs of the committee. That is right. You should give him that utmost respect. You don't speak to him and then make it look as if you are rubbishing whatever he is saying, to the extent that the outgoing majority leader needs to come in and then tell you that what you said from the beginning is different from what they are saying. So sometimes I feel like the minority leader, even when he speaks, he doesn't listen to himself. He speaks something, and then the next second he's speaking like he's contradicting himself, and it's that bad. So you see, yes, it is true, there are procedures that needs to be followed, but I think at least there are better ways to approach issues. You shouldn't make it obvious. The minority caucus has staged a walkout more than, it's uncountable times. The only time I can remember vividly that when this current majority who were in minority stage out was during this e-levy thing. Even though when I went to sleep, I woke up and I realized that they staged a walkout and they passed it. Even with that, their numbers were, it was 50-50. If one wasn't above the other. So if one person doesn't come to Parliament, it go against the other person. So I think it became an issue, and then they staged a walkout, and the then current minority, then majority, passed it into law. That is the only instance that I can remember that the current majority, then minority, staged a walkout. But this current minority is as if that has become their hallmark. Everything they are staging a walkout. Everything they are staging a walkout, and it's becoming unbecoming. So, as is being stated in the article, there are rules to follow, there are laws to follow. But even if it is being flouted, there are still better ways to approach it.
Right. There are still better ways to approach that. Moving on to our next news item. Mama backs crackdown on begging at airport. President John Dramani Mahama has welcomed efforts by the Ghana Airports Company Limited, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, and other institutions at the airport to clamp down workers soliciting or begging visitors for tips. He said such practices damage Ghana's image and urged all workers within the aviation sector to uphold professionalism, discipline, and hospitality. President Mahama made the remarks at the sword curtain ceremony for the multi-tiered, multi-purpose car park and airport hotels complex at the Accra International Airport. He said every worker and institution at the airport plays a role in shaping visitors' perception of Ghana from their arrival to their departure. GACL has already dismissed 2 car park workers for engaging in the practice amid efforts to clamp down on the solicitation of tips from passengers. Meanwhile, the new airport hotels complex and multi-tiered car park will feature 2 hotels, a pedestrian connector linking the complex to the terminal, and more than 2,000 parking bays. The development will also include a shopping mall with a food court, retail and office spaces, as well as a sky lounge and sky observatory for aircraft viewing. This one there is like Dubai. Right, but let's focus on the clamp down of begging at the airport. It's becoming like a rampant behavior when you go to the airport, of the airport workers begging passengers for tips breakfast, anything for the girls, anything for the boys. So the airport's company limited is doing what it takes to make sure that that behavior comes to a stop. Ms. Debbie, what do you say to this before we move into the project?
It's a bad behavior, and it doesn't speak well of us as a country. Just as the president said, when you are moving into a country for the first time, you pay much attention to how the people receive you. I mean, that those first impression never fades away from your mind. When you move into a country for the first time, the way that people receive you, whether positive or negative, stays with you for the rest of your life. And that is why sometimes you hear people saying that, oh, when I went to this country, it's that bad. Like, the people are not hospitable, they are very aggressive, they are this. Those first impressions are very, very significant, because whether bad or good, it's going to stay with the person for the rest of their life. Whether the country is good, bad, because they've met the wrong person and they've met the wrong side of that person. In fact, it is being assumed that the country is like that, and all the people living in that country have that same behavior. Tell me why a visitor coming in here, you don't even know whether the visitor is a student, you don't know whether the visitor is a researcher, you don't know whether the visitor is even an investigative journalist. Maybe they want to do their findings and all that, and from the look of things, you've already given out evidence of what you are up to or what you do. So it is very bad. You see, the people who work at the airport, they are the gatekeepers of every country. I'm saying this because you are the first people who welcome these visitors into the country. So the behaviors you put across tells the people who what Ghana is made up of. If you're welcoming someone in here and you welcome the person on a negative note, you give the impression that all Ghanaians are like that.
I like that.
When you give a positive note, you give that impression that all Ghanaians are good, they are kind. But when you are being I don't want to use the word pride. People who talk shabbily and throw jabs, rude. Yes. When you give a rude attitude, it means that you are telling me that Ghanaians are rude. I don't need to go out and speak to 10 or 20 Ghanaians to ascertain my fact. No. Whatever you do there, tell me what Ghanaians are made up of. And that is why I call them the gatekeepers of every country, the gatekeepers of Ghana, because you welcome them here. If you show them a positive side of you, you are telling them that Ghanaians are good, Ghanaians are kind, Ghanaians are hospitable. Why do you go taking money from them? Is that part of your work? You are there because you want to work. And I'm sure at the end of the month, they pay you. So why it is different if you from within, like you show kindness to the visitor, and out of willingness the visitor will be like, oh,
give it to
yes, looking at how fast you are, how approachable you are, let me just give you this, let me tip you up. That is different. The person is giving you out of willingness. It's not you forcing the person. But in a case where the person just landed and then you're asking the person for money, no, the person is a foreigner. He or she does not even know how our currency is. They're not coming to change. In fact, at the airport there, you're going to change the currency.
Yeah.
So the person doesn't even know whether the amount he's bringing on board is going to cater for his 3-day stay, or maybe his 1-week stay, or his monthly stay in Ghana. And then from that moment, now Okojiska saying, it's a bad behavior that needs to be eradicated. And I like the fact that they said they've started dismissing workers who are into that. It is a bad behavior. You will not travel to the Western world and then the first day somebody's coming to ask you for money. It is bad. We usually do that when we see the white people.
Yes.
We feel like they have
money.
almost just kind of money now. That is why they're even taking advantage of us, because they feel like, excuse me, we are dumb.
Ms. Gina, now to the project. What do you think about? What do you make of the project?
Okay, so I think the project, first off, car park, and the hotel.
Yeah.
So I don't really know, but most of these airports do not have hotels. And we've seen instances where sometimes some of these people, their flights are being delayed. and they would have to sit long hours until their flight are ready. And sometimes some people are traveling long distance just to go to the airport. So let's say probably your flight is scheduled for 3 a.m. You would have to leave the house very early, which indirectly I feel like it poses as a threat to you, the individual. So if there's a hotel, probably you can just lodge in, wait till your time is ready, then you go. And also the car park, obviously to ease down congestion and people to park their cars more conveniently. And also what else, a shopping mall with a food court. Me, I've never seen not a hotel, an airport that sells food, a combedo. So if it is there, it would ease the pressure on the individuals. It will ease pressure on the people coming in. So if you just need something, you can just go in and get whatever you want to get, and you are good to go. I saw a video of one young lady. She's a Nigerian actress, where she said she had to travel like 2 hours, 3 hours to get food and other petty things. I think she said she forgot some of her sanitaries, the basic things she needed as a woman, and she had to travel but she had to go a distance like 2 hours to get those things. And she was like, if only the hotel had these things, she wouldn't have gone that far. So I think it's very important that they include all those things, and to make Ghana more attractive. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, more attractive. We are happy about the project. Zaneto proposes CSIR funding for plant-based alternatives to plastics. Minister Designate for Environment, Science and Technology, Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings, has proposed increased funding for scientific research into plant-based alternatives to plastics as part of measures to address Ghana's growing plastic waste problem. She said the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research could be supported to develop biodegradable alternatives using locally available crops such as hemp and cassava. Speaking during her vetting before Parliament Appointments Committee on Thursday, 27, 2026, Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings said Ghana has significant plant resources that could be developed into environmentally friendly alternatives to conventional plastics. She also said tackling plastic pollution would require coordinated action involving government agencies, communities, and the private sector. According to her, Ghana must strengthen the standards governing landfills to prevent harmful substances from seeping into soil and underground water. She described the measures as an absolute necessity and said practices already used at some electronic waste collection points could be extended to other waste facilities. She called for a stronger culture of waste segregation, beginning at the household, school and community level. She further proposed exploring technologies that could turn waste into energy and other useful products. These, she said, could include the use of solid waste for thermal power generation, pyrolysis of plastics to produce fuel and cooking gas, and recycling certain types of plastics into reusable materials. And this was brought to light during her vetting yesterday. That alone should tell you that the minister is ready to work. Mr. China?
So with what she's proposing, I think is a very good idea. When you go to the Western world, they don't just most of these people haven't just banned plastic as Ghanaians are calling on the ban of plastics. They are rather repurposing the plastic into something meaningful, something useful that at the end of the day it would indirectly and directly create revenue for the government. So with what she's proposing, I think is a very good idea. And also looking at the aspects where she said funding for the scientific research should be the CSIR. They should really fund this. I think it's very important. Just this morning, reading the newspaper headlines, they were talking about it, saying that when it has to do with Ghanaians or Ghana as a whole, as scientific research, we are getting late as a country. So it means we are not really prioritizing it. When you go to the Western world, they really prioritize it. If they don't prioritize it, like most people wouldn't go into the lab and create certain kinds of viruses and spread it to everyone. So I think it is high time we really prioritize our scientific research sectors. I think aside, there's one, it has an Ewe name. It's a big research center. Oh, something Noguchi or say Noguchi.
Noguchi, yes, it's Noguchi.
Noguchi.
Yeah.
Noguchi. I feel that is the only scientific research center we have in Ghana. Aside the rest, I'm not really hearing anything again. So the government should make it a priority and invest in our research centers. At the end of the day, I think the little things that we feel like, oh, this is not valuable, since the research they are being funded, at the end of the day they can bring something up. Oh, when we do this like this, it would really help Ghana. It would help generate enough revenues for the country. So I perfectly do agree with him.
Hi, Mr. Gina, your thoughts? Sorry,
if we take countries like South Africa, Rwanda, Kenya, Sweden, US, and what have you, all these countries are countries that recycled plastics into construction of roads, books, what's the name? Dresses that we wear, shoes, and even chairs that we sit on. You can be, I mean, sometimes you marveled when you see this plastics being recycled into something very useful to the country. It becomes a benefit to the country. Yes. So I feel like there should be something that we should be more focused on. Okay.
Yeah.
Now EPA is saying that they want to ban the use of styrofoams and all that, and they are going to result in reusing the leaves and other. I mean, they are going to bring on board paper bags and all that,
yes,
which is going to help. But then you see, we are all calling for the ban, but I'm not sure we can completely ban the use of plastic. We might not be using plastic again, but the chair we use are plastics. The buckets we use to bath are plastics. Even the bowls we wash in, they are plastics. The cups we use, they are plastics. So are we going to ban all this and then bring a paper bowl, a paper bucket, a paper basket? No. So I think we should think deeper. Okay, what we are trying to ban is something that we use daily. But the bucket, we use bucket daily. Don't we use bucket to bath every day? The bucket bowl we use in washing every blessed day. So I feel like the best thing we can do is to strengthen these institutions that we already have right here in Ghana that are recycling these plastics. They are not enough. Most of these factories are private-owned factories. They are not for the government. What the government can do is that to support them financially, support them with their money, so we can create more factories. We can even collaborate with other private institutions that are sold into that. Let them come and build the industries here. Let us employ our own people. We have these people here, but they are making good use of other countries because they are employing them. And right here, we do not have enough factories or enough industries that are into recycling. The ones we have, because they're not getting upper hands to support them, and even the taxes alone these private institutions are paying is unthinkable. So whatever she brought on board is good. I just hope that, I mean, it manifests. We get to hear this a lot, but immediately they assume office, it becomes a different story. But then I hope a story becomes different from the others we've experienced.
Right. Implementation. We are hoping that whatever they say during their vetting proceedings actually manifest once they take over office. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the News Review. Up next, we have Global Observances with Ms. Regina Bless.
some global observances live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Today is a Friday, so we are allowed to smile and laugh. So starting with today's National Thoughtful Day. It is a day to spread goodwill, practice empathy, and remind people how a single kind gesture can positively impact others. So do well to be kind today. Moving on, today is Radio Commercials Day. 1922, New York radio station WEF aired a 10-minute commercial for Queensboro Realty promoting apartments in Jackson Heights. So looking at the purpose, the day recognizes how paid advertisements made commercial broadcasting financially possible, providing funds for staff and programming. While the U.S. adopted Radio Act early, it took decades for other nations to follow, and the UK aired its first legal commercial in 1973 on LBC, and other stations worldwide also followed. Moving on, today we have Forgive Your Foe Friday to encourage people to let go of grudges, release anger, and practice forgiveness toward others and themselves. Looking at the purpose and meaning, release negative energy. It gives people a specific time to stop holding on to past hurt and resentment. It improves our health. Holding on to anger harms physical and mental well-being, while forgiveness helps heal the mind and body. The day promotes peace over conflict, reminding everyone that forgiveness is a gift for one's own inner peace, rather than an excuse for bad behavior. Lastly, Crackers Over the Keyboard Day. It gives you a guilt-free pass to snack on crunchy crackers or cookies directly over your computer keyboard. It was created by holiday inventors Thomas and Ruth Roy. The day encourages you to stop worrying about messes and embrace a moment of carefree freedom during your work day. And that's all for today on some global observances live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina, for some global observances. Do all to forgive someone today. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. Former Lands Minister and Tamale Central Member of Parliament, Inusa Futseni, has cautioned that allegations of members of parliament pursuing personal interests could undermine public trust in parliament and Ghana's democracy. In an interview, Mr. Futseni said Parliament 276 members were given a clear mandate to represent the interests of more than 30 million Ghanaians. He said concerns that some lawmakers may be using their positions for personal gain should therefore be treated as a broader threat to democratic governance. We have over 30 million people in this country. 276 have been privileged in between the times 4-year term. They take decisions on our behalf because we have trusted them to do so. Mr. Futseni said members of parliament are entrusted with significant responsibilities, including controlling public finances, holding the executive accountable, and passing laws. He cautioned that this mandate becomes compromised when lawmakers begin treating it as a personal commodity. So when the public begins seeing that these 276 persons that we have given the mandate to represent us and transact business on our behalf in parliament, hold the executive accountable, pass laws for us, and are doing that for themselves, have commodified that mandate we have given them and are trading in that mandate, he said. According to him, such conduct will not only damage the credibility of individual members of parliament, but also erode confidence in Parliament as an institution. His comment comes amid a controversy involving the minority leader and that of Sami Gyamfi, CEO of Gold Board. The allegation threatened and triggered a fierce political dispute between the minority leader and subsequently taking legal action. Mr. Fuseni said the issue should not be reduced to a dispute involving one politician. He argued that the broader concern was whether elected representatives were still prioritizing collective interests of the people who sent them to Parliament. He said the allegation must therefore be viewed in the light of broader constitutional responsibilities of Parliament and elected officials. The pursuit of personal interests at the expense of the public could undermine the constitutional promise of equal opportunity and national prosperity. So this is from former Minister of Lands and former Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Mr. Inusa Fuseni. I mean, he's questioning whether the members of Parliament or the people we have taken our time to vote for and represent us in Parliament, whether they are truly doing their work or they are there for their personal interest. He's given this comment because there have been instances where some of these members of Parliament behave out of the box. When I say out of the box, sometimes they behave as if they've forgotten their mandate, they've forgotten who they are, and they've forgotten the role they're supposed to play. And so it raises a lot of questions of whether these people are the same people we voted for to represent us in Parliament. Now, parliamentarians are supposed to enact laws. They're supposed to, judge on issues, lobby, and ensure that their constituencies are being developed, their people or their constituents live in comfort. When I say in comfort, it doesn't mean like maybe you just having comfort, but the things around you that will make you get comfort. Example has to do with you getting good roads, as schools in that constituency being well built and equipped. Students don't have to walk like 1,000 miles, 10, 15 miles just to get a school where they can study. A constituency where they have a well-equipped hospital. This is what our representatives are supposed to do. Not to go to Parliament, be fighting, arguing on unnecessary issues. We've seen instances where even our parliamentarians fight in Parliament to the extent that they they destroy properties belonging to the state. In as much as they are there to enact laws, whatever is being there, whatever they are using to enact their rules or execute their mandate is a state money. It's some money that is being used to board that. And he's purposely saying this based on the issue that transpired earlier between the minority leader and CEO of Gold Board. Now, this issue is not an issue that we need to sleep over. It's an issue that needs to be thoroughly investigated. But you see, the question still remains on whether our representatives are there because they have the interests of the people at heart. Are they there because they are willing to fight for their people? They are willing to speak on behalf of their people. If these representatives are not that important, I know very well that I think everybody will be in Parliament to speak for themselves. But because we know that these representatives are so important, they are valuable, that is why we vote for them to, represent us in Parliament. But in a case where it looks as if they are doing opposite of what they're supposed to do, it raises a lot of questions and speculations. And that is why questions are being asked all over. Sometimes the conduct of these parliamentarians raise a lot of questions. It raises a lot of doubt. And then you sit back, you ask yourself, are these the same people you voted for? Yes, we understand the fact that our leaders need to account. Yes, we understand the fact that they need to act as watchdog to ensure that their colleagues are doing the right thing. We understand that perfectly well, but how do we go about it? How do we do it? There are instances where Parliament is enacting laws and then one party stage a walkout. That is not what we want. You might be in disagreement with whatever the other party is bringing on board, but to walk out, it is extreme. You can equally sit down, bring your views on board. Yes, you have the right to disagree. No one is saying you don't have the right to disagree. You have the right to disagree. If you feel like whatever this party is bringing on board is not going to help the Parliament, it's not going to help the people of Ghana, it's not going to help your constituent, you have the sole right and mandate to disagree. But to the extent of staging a walkout, briefing the press, you can brief the press uncountable times, 1,001 times. But if you are still refusing to right your wrong, we will still be marking time. And that is what we are calling for. We voted for you there to represent us, to work on our behalf. In fact, I wouldn't say you are not doing well because that job is not that easy. The shoes your legs are being fixed into are not that easy. But you can as well make it easy. You can make it easy. But here lies the case all the time. We keep speaking about one thing. We keep mentioning the name of one person. That is bad and that is out of the box. And that is why sometimes we need to call our leaders to order. We need to align their steps, not in a way that they don't know what they are doing, but sometimes it looks as if they are off guard. They're representing us. That doesn't mean that we need to keep quiet and then fold our arms when things are going wrong. No. We gave you the power. We entrusted the power into your hands. And so if things are not going right, we also have the right. We also have that mandate to call you out and tell you that this and that you're doing is not going to help us. It's not going to help the constituency. It's not going to help the country as a whole. Our parliamentarians need to sit up. They need to sit up. Sometimes the jobs they give to themselves is even bad. And then you sit yourself and you ask yourself questions. Are these parliamentarians? Are these the people we call leaders? Are these the people we voted for? A lot of questions keeps popping up in our mind. Well, some people might not voice it out, but you have no idea. And that is why most of them will relax till, it is time to change hands. When I say change hands, you understand. It is time to bring in new people, like vote. Then you see them bringing in new people. But I don't know whether you've noticed this. Our parliamentarians they have two tonations when they are speaking. They speak with a different tonation when they need the power, and then they speak with a different tonation when they get there. Sometimes I wonder whether when they get there, is it a different aura that is controlling the whole atmosphere? And then when they get to their constituency, it's a different issue. The interest of the people needs to come first. That is why you are there. And trust me, when you have the interest of the people at heart, whatever you are doing, you will be very, very cautious. Even if you want to do something awful, you know that, no, my constituents are watching me. The people I'm leading, they are watching me. The issue becomes out of hand when the same people that are supposed to correct this representative are backing them. Then it becomes so worse. And we've seen that countless times. When these same citizens that are supposed to call their leaders to book, they are supporting them. Why? Because they'll be given a tip. They'll be given something to buy porridge the next day. What we are calling for is that the right thing needs to be done. So long as you are there in Parliament, it means your people have seen that credibility in you. They've seen that competence in you, and they know you can deliver. But when you get there and then you are doing opposite of what you're supposed to do, it raises a lot of questions. So please, so parliamentarians, we are begging you, It is time to right your wrong. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Wheel.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, and thank you too for joining us right here on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly. We'll be back. Please stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, government to construct new multi-level car park and airport hotel complex at Accra International Airport. Minister designate for Environment urges all government strategy to tackle galamsey. Mahama Yarega pledges to push for enhanced state funding for chiefs. And also in this bulletin, Minority Caucus urges President Mahama to ensure thorough scrutiny of Supreme Court nominees. New audit committees charged to ensure reset agenda delivers tangible development at local level. We have details on these stories and more coming up shortly. President John Dramani Mahama has announced plans for the construction of a new multi-purpose vehicle park and airport hotel complex at the Accra International Airport. Speaking on the project, President Mahama said the facility will provide additional parking space for passengers and airport users. According to him, it will improve traffic circulation within the airport enclave and significantly reduce congestion. The new complex is part of broader effort to modernize Ghana's aviation infrastructure and enhance the travel experience for both domestic and international passengers.
Anyone who has traveled through a busy airport will acknowledge that the passenger experience begins long before you check in, and it does not end after you have collected your baggage. Access, parking, movement, safety, convenience, and hospitality are all essential parts of that experience. The facility for which we cut the short today is therefore a timely and practical response. It will provide additional parking, it will improve traffic circulation, it will reduce congestion and optimize the use of limited land within the airport enclave. By building vertically, we're using space more efficiently while creating room for other services that an international airport requires.
And that was from President John Dramani Mahama. Minister-designate Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings has emphasized the need for comprehensive all-of-government approach in the fight against illegal small-scale mining. Speaking on its eradication, Dr. Agyemang-Rawlings said to tackle galamsey and its devastating impact on the environment cannot be left to a single ministry. She called for stronger coordination among government agencies and ministries to ensure a unified and effective response.
The fight against illegal mining and the subsequent damage it does to the environment and human life are an all of government and all of society imperative. And I do believe that the easiest way to address it is to have effective coordination between the ministries, departments, and agencies. And as you rightly pointed out, all of these activities are happening within the local governance space. And we have the decentralized EPA and all these agencies at that level as well. The regular reporting improves on transparency. It also helps us to track to what extent that to what extent interventions are making an impact. I believe that to start with, what I would want to do would be to sit with, should I get the approval from this committee and from the House, would be to sit with the relevant ministers of the coordinating the relevant ministers of the various ministries that have an interest in the galamsey fight, which would range from the lands as well as the local government.
The Minister-designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Mahama Yariga, has pledged to push for increased government funding for traditional authorities in the country. Speaking during his vetting, Mr. Yariga said he will work to secure increased budgetary support for the chieftaincy institution to perform its duties effectively. Beyond central government funding, he pledged to explore innovative revenue mobilization strategies at the local government level to strengthen the chieftaincy institution. He reaffirmed his commitment to building a strong partnership between government and traditional authorities to promote inclusive development and deepen decentralization.
Thank you very much. The chieftaincy institution is perhaps, if not the most important, one of the most important constitutionally guaranteed establishments. And we have, in the Constitution, assigned very important responsibilities to the chieftaincy institution. They are both a legislative body and an adjudicatory institution, from the traditional council level to the paramountcy, to the regional House of Chiefs, to the National House of Chiefs. And so if we resource them adequately, I believe that this country will do far, far better than we are performing now. What I can assure you is that I will try and get the Minister of Finance to make adequate budgetary provision for the chieftaincy institution. But I believe also that there's a huge potential for revenue mobilization within the local government setup itself. There are so many fees, levies, charges, rates that we are supposed to be collecting that we are not collecting. If we collected those ones, there will be enough resources to support all sectors that are performing critical roles at the local level. And chiefs do perform a very, very critical role at the local and regional levels up to the National House of Chiefs level. And so I will explore, one, getting government increased allocation. Two, I will also explore getting the local government authorities to mobilize the revenues that are supposed to be collected at the local level and support the traditional authorities, because they really do help them in the governance of the spaces that the assemblies are responsible for.
The Minority Caucus in Parliament has called on the President to call the Majority Caucus to order and ensure the Supreme Court nominees undergo thorough scrutiny before final decisions are taken on the appointment. According to the minority, the vetting and approval of justices to the Apex Court is a critical constitutional duty that requires diligence, transparency, and bipartisanship. The caucus expressed concern over what it describes as an attempt to fast-track the approval process without adequate examination of nominees' competence, integrity, and judicial philosophy.
Nothing should be done to impede or stampede any committee in the performance of its functions. Mr. President, you have been a member of Parliament before. You have served on committees on Parliament. This is what your members are doing here. They are trying to use their supermajority to stampede the Committee of Parliament in the performance of its duties. Please call them to order. Again, as provided for under Article 1033, committees are charged with the responsibility of investigation and inquiry into the activities of MDAs, and in this case, into the performance of nominees to establish their qualification, eligibility, and suitability to occupy the office or position assigned to them respectively. This must be thorough, and it requires a thorough job. Mr. President, again, we plead with you, kindly engage your caucus. It is your nomination. Everything they do today stands for or against your legacy. We are not against the nominees. We are not against the decision by you to nominate justices to the Supreme Court. Although we are against the decision on the basis of your own principle, but we believe if the right thing is done, all of us can work together as Democrats, engage and get the right thing done. This is why, in the wisdom of our framers of the Constitution, these provisions were in the Constitution to allow Parliament, in its wisdom, to deal with all these things.
The Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs has urged newly inaugurated audit committees of metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in Accra to ensure government reset agenda translates into tangible development at the local level. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony in Accra, Deputy Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Rita Doleso, underscored the critical role of audit committees in promoting accountability and prudent financial management within the assemblies.
We should be able to demonstrate to our citizens that the resources entrusted to their assemblies are producing tangible benefits to their communities. The increased flow of resources to the local level should therefore translate into improved roads, sanitation, drainage, markets, social infrastructure, environmental management, and other interventions that directly improve the quality of life of our people. The measure of success should not simply be how much money an assembly receives or spends, but how effectively these resources are converted into tangible and sustainable development outcomes. And so we should make sure that they use the monies but not keep them in their accounts. Distinguished guests, strong internal controls are fundamental to achieving this objective. The audit committees must pay particular attention to the systems governing procurement, expenditure, revenue mobilization, contract management, asset management, and project implementation. Government remains committed to strengthening decentralization and improving the capacity of MMDAs to deliver development at the local level. However, the success of decentralization will ultimately depend on the quality of governance at the local level. If we are resetting, the resetting should start from the local level with the people on the grounds so that they will feel the resetting, because the people that have been put in place to manage the resources are working.
In business, the Bank of Ghana has deployed artificial intelligence to strengthen its inflation forecasting and improve its gathering and analysis of economic data. First Deputy Governor Dr. Zachary Mumuni said the technology is part of central bank's wider adoption of modeling tools and big data technologies. He said the tools are helping the bank improve its forecast and provide better information for monetary policy decisions. Dr. Mumuni disclosed this at the 4th Annual Statistics and Data Science Conference in Tamale. According to him, the use of AI and other modeling tools has helped the bank improve the accuracy of its inflation predictions, including forecasts made ahead of official data releases. Dr. Mumuni explained that the bank also uses ethnocentric techniques and its quarterly projection model to assess economic development and guide policy choices. However, he cautioned that technological tools cannot replace human judgment in economic policy making. He recalled the charge given by the Governor of the Bank of Ghana during his swearing in February 2025 to adopt a more proactive approach to managing inflation. The challenge confronting policy makers is no longer simply the availability of data, but how to turn large volumes of information into useful intelligence. To sports, Ghana international Gideon Mensah says he cannot take games for granted as he prepares for his Bundesliga debut. Mensah signed for German side Cologne following the end of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which was staged in Mexico, Canada and United States of America. The left back joined the Bundesliga side on a free transfer after his contract with AJ Auxerre at the end of 2025 and 2026 season. He also revealed there was no difficulty in choosing his next club after the World Cup. In showbiz, Nigerian Afrobeat star Tiwa Savage has rejected criticism of collaborating with many female musicians in the industry. In a recent appearance on the Alpha Air podcast, the singer revealed that she has worked with several female artists, but those collaborations have not received the same level of promotion and attention as the songs with male artists. On the Off-Air podcast, she pointed to collaboration with prominent notable female artists as evidence of her willingness to work with women. However, she questioned why some of those records failed to receive stronger industry backing. According to Tiwa, the limited promotion of some of her female collaborations has contributed to the perception that she does not support other women in the music industry. The lack of visibility, she argued, can be discouraging for female artists, particularly in an industry where women faces challenges sustaining visibility. The Grammy-nominated singer also spoke about her effort to discourage the tendency to pit successful female artists against one another. Tiwa's comment comes amid long-standing conversations about the treatment of women in the African music industry. On global front, Tanzania's ruling party has expelled the country's vice president days after his historic resignation. This rapid escalation tests the democratic credentials and political stability of the East African nation. Analysts view the ouster as a stark indicator of deep fractures within the dominant political establishment. The Chama party took decisive disciplinary action against Emmanuel Nchibi. Leaders announced his expulsion due to alleged indiscipline following his sudden decision to leave office. He served for 10 months before making his exit. Observers note this marks an unprecedented moment in the modern history of the country. The 54-year-old official recently made public remarks that drew intense scrutiny. He urged citizens to fight for a new constitution. Observers interpreted this call as a direct challenge to the administration. This stance signaled major political fallout with President Samia Suluhu Hassan. He also shared his brief resignation letter on his Instagram account on Tuesday morning. The political crisis traces back to the disputed presidential vote held last October. The incumbent administration secured a landslide victory in an election boycotted by major opposition groups. The main opposition faction had demanded electoral reforms prior to participation. Post-election demonstration met with severe state response. Human rights organizations accused security forces of utilizing excessive force. An official inquiry later revealed at least 500 people died during the unrest. The head of the investigation commission reported that the actual death toll was likely higher. He explained that many families buried relatives without registering their bodies at morgues. The inquiry recommended investigating the use of firearms after witnesses reported troops shooting people inside homes. The ruling party moved to fill the vacant seat. The ruling party has maintained continuous power since independence from Britain in 1961. The organization remained deeply intertwined with state apparatuses and security institutions. Past transitions followed predictable patterns under the dominant political framework. The sudden departure of a sitting deputy leader shatters traditional image of internal harmony. Observers wait to see if the administration can restore confidence amid rising public dissent. Balancing institutional continuity with a new political reform remains a central challenge for Tanzania as leadership navigates this unprecedented transition. And that's it on the morning news broadcast. Do what to log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news stories. I am Deborah Dosso. Do have a good morning.
Ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials. From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system mechre spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha enti se we ye a year we ye engagement we ye wedding we ye birthday party political parties are mo ye rally some we ye sorry mo ye crusade so we bo carnival or any kind of event now we pe spinning machine papa a boa sound no mu de dia ene me kanfo GTR sounds de emawo ye wa live band nso a woto nsa de frenya ye betimi ababeboa ama wudwumedi a wudie nso atimi aye kama pa ye wo enkan poponi mantemo anya aponchi hotel ho pepepe na ye butu odi an se wo be frɛ empanifo e wo 0546960510 GTR sounds emu wode angaza
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Only on Ghana Talks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. When you see cause on air, where the spark inside the flame, from the first line.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning to you once again, and you're welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station. You can carry along wherever you go. All you need to do is just download the app on Google Play Store or Apple Store at Ghana Talks Radio, and you are good to go. And if you want to join us live, we are streaming on our socials on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do well to join us right here on the morning show. This is your morning companion. You're welcome to the second segment of the show, and you know how we do it. We come along with knowledgeable guests. We're going to be delving into the issues for discussion. They'll be sharing their suggestions, their opinions on matters that matter to you every morning right here on the show. My name is Ruth Esenam Fiekbedu, and joining me right here in the studios is Mr. Abdul Razak. He is the NPP Communications Team member. This morning promises to be exciting. Good morning to you, Mr. Razak, and you're welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much, Esinam. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while.
And I'm happy to be back.
It's
you
good.
know, sometimes there are a lot of things that get to take our attention, even though we always want to be here, but
even though what?
We always want to be here.
Okay.
Coming to share your opinions.
I had Blaze.
And because some of your party members are blazing.
We are not. I mean, but it's normal. It's normal that you come and share your opinions on issues of national interest.
Very.
And expose the inefficiencies and the failures of this government. As a party in opposition, that is what we are supposed to do, and we would always make sure that we do it to the maximum.
Good to hear.
Thank you.
When I said blazing, I thought you were going to ask, hey, what is happening? But anyway, how is school?
School is fine.
School is fine.
Yes, school is fine.
Very soon I'll have an escort. So if you don't know and you come, my lawyer will serve you. Right. So talking of blazing, people are actually blazing for the internal elections. Yesterday we saw the likes of John Bredu. Yes, Miracles also filing for nomination. Oh, you know them. Ejako, Richard Ahiagba, Salam Mustafa, Sheikh Mustafa, Hamid. Yes, and yeah.
I mean, an NPP as a democratic party. I mean, we have proven over the years to be the most democratic political party in Ghana, and so it's normal. I mean, we always go through this contest to elect our leaders, and trust me, when there's a single position anywhere within the NPP as a political party, trust me, people are going to contest for that position, no matter how small it is. So it's normal. In a NPP, we do not impose leaders. We make sure we go through the democratic process to elect leaders. Yeah, just like we saw in the recent flag bearership race. It was a tough one, a tough contest. And so, I mean, this is something that is normal of us. We are not like the other political parties that sometimes impose leaders on them. No, we do democracy.
Hey, wait, which party is imposing leaders on who?
Well, that's going to be a topic for another day. But
no,
we know that
some
time ago, a certain person was imposed on them. They didn't.
Oh, really? Who was that?
President John Dramani Mahama.
He was imposed.
What I mean is that they didn't allow for people to contest him, and so we don't do that.
But he was the only person.
No, they didn't allow somebody to contest. That was the reality, and so that's what I'm saying. We don't do that. We allow everybody to come and contest, and then when the people gives you the mandate, they don't allow. So they didn't allow people to contest him. It's not as if he was the only person. No, they didn't allow the party. I mean, it was like a unanimous decision. They didn't allow people to contest him, and that's why you saw that he went unopposed. So we don't do that. We make sure that we give everybody the fair chance, the fair opportunity to contest, and then when the power or the mandate is given to you, the party will rally behind you and then support you to execute the function. So that's what we do as a political party. And that's why I said that we are the most, democratic political party in Ghana.
I see. Yeah. So the rest are not democratic?
To some extent. We list them in all aspects, in all facets of the political arena.
So in all aspects, the NPP is democratic?
Yes.
Right.
We lead them in all facets. And look at what is happening today. Today you cannot talk, when you talk about the failures of this government, you are arrested.
But you are talking, they've not arrested you.
There are certain, things, if I go into them, they will arrest me.
How would they arrest you?
For example,
if you have the evidence, why would they arrest you? I mean, it's back.
Are you aware that somebody posted that Dumso is back with President Mohammed's picture? He was arrested.
Yes, and the person was arrested.
Yes. So this one was the crime in it. When
you're also scared that if you say Dumso is back.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But ever since that person said that, people have been saying it, they've not been picked up.
But you see, the issue is that the government is beginning to understand that you cannot arrest everybody.
So now you think they've calmed down?
The attempt to silence the minority or the NPP has failed. That is why you are not seeing people being picked up every now and then. And even with that, it is scary that a political party comes into office and within 1 year or 1.5 years, they have arrested people on the basis of free speech than the entire NPP administration. That tells you that, a lot of things are happening within this government that is very, very bad to the democratic, processes that we are practicing as a country. So it's clear. We as a political party, when it comes to democracy, we allow for everything. All the principles that underpins democracy. We allow them to work. Unlike the NDC that will come into office and they don't want you to speak. When in fact, they are the biggest beneficiary of free speech. They insulted everybody. Tagging President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as LGBTQI, supporters. We saw Sami Jemfi, we saw Alik Basintali posting pictures of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia with LGBT or in LGBTQI colors. Kojo Diana, a lot of people did this rubbish thing to the former president and the vice president. And we didn't, we felt like people should have the opportunity to speak, people should be allowed to express their opinion, even though to some extent it was out of line. But given the nature of, the president and the vice president, they were democratic and they, just wanted to see that Ghana moves forward when it comes to democracy. But we have seen the reverse of these things happening. When President Mahama came into office, today you cannot post, and it is even sad that was the first time that we saw LGBTQI people at our Independence Square hugging and kissing each other. The first time.
But
it happened in this country.
Actions were taken.
What actions?
Right.
No, they were not arrested.
They were not arrested, but efforts were made to debunk that and to stop people from
that. It was not true.
Using
it was true. If you listen to Sam George, Sam George pioneered this thing. He took it up.
Yes, he was very loud about it.
Very loud about LGBTQI. He went to even UN to express the dissatisfaction against LGBTQI and the fact that it's something that is going to destroy the Ghanaian family values.
So you were thinking that the bills that were passed, you were thinking that the LGBTQ,
even though it is a much watered down bill, we expected it to be signed into law, but that didn't happen.
Well,
so we are saying that look, the government lacks principle. When it comes to principles, they don't have it. They don't know what they stand for.
Right. As it stands now, they are still in power. So let's see what happens. Sure. Now let's move on to your house matter. The NPP. How is it? What is your reading into the people contesting?
Yes. So if you look at the current crop of aspirants, it's clear that we have able candidates amongst them. We have people that can do the work.
All of them.
Yes.
You say
we have
all
people
of them.
that can. Sincerely, it's not all of them, but we have people that can do the work. We have people amongst them that is capable of delivering 2028 for the NPP, and I say this because I have seen them. I have looked at the campaign's strategy. I have looked at how the wind is blowing within the NPP, and I'm confident that NPP as a political party, we hardly make a mistake when it comes to choosing the right people to lead the cause. We hardly make a mistake. And so I am confident that the party is going to give the right people the right opportunities. They are going to vote for those who are capable of doing the job and delivering 2028 for the party. So I'm certain in my mind that at the end of the day, the right candidates are going to win. And the 2028 is going to be for the NPP. But aside that, I want to vouch and encourage and admonish the members of the New Patriotic Party that in the field of communication, Dennis Miracles Abuaji has proven that he is the man for the job. The track record is there.
So
the brilliance when it comes to exposing the discrepancies and the failures of this government, the ability to, express himself in terms of issues of national concern. So we are saying that Dennis Miracles Abuaji stands out, and people, the members of the NPP should try as much as possible to give that mandate to Dennis Miracles Abuaji. And then in the women's wing, we have Honorable Hawa Kumsin,
so far she's
who has proven to be,
and one other.
Yes. Hawa Kumsin has proven to be the woman for the job. The woman king.
Why do you think she's the woman for the job?
We have seen her. She has served as a member of parliament.
Yes.
She has served as a minister, and in all of these roles, she delivered. She delivered perfectly fine for the NPP and Ghana at large. So I'm saying that Honorable Hawa Kumsin, wherever you are, hold your chest high. that you are industrious woman, you are someone that can do the job. And I admonish members of the NPP, let us give her the mandate. If we must win 2028, Honorable Howard Kumsen should be the leader of the women wing of our party. And that is why I'm calling on all the members of the NPP, all delegates and all those that have the power to make people leaders. Let's do this for Honorable Howard Kumsen and NPP at large. Voting for Honorable Howard Kumsen is going to make the party a great party. It's going to boost the chances of the party coming back into office in 2028. And then also when it comes to the chairmanship role, I believe that Honorable Boachi Ajako stands out. I mean, he's a decent candidate. He has a track record, the competence and the vision. A party in opposition needs certain qualities. It needs certain kind of experience to be able to get back to power. And in all the candidates, I have seen that Honorable Ajako Boachi has shown that competence. He has shown that experience. He has shown that competence, that intelligence to be able to man the office of the chairman of the party. And so I call on the NPP to give him the mandate to do the job for us come 2028.
Right. So these people that you have mentioned, do you believe that they are going to reunite and also build the party?
Verily, verily. They are going to do that. I mean, it's something that a party in opposition should not struggle to reunite. You understand? We shouldn't struggle to reunite ourselves. And so, I mean, you need someone that have the vision that can, make it happen as quickly as possible. And so I believe that he's going to do that. He's going to do that. He has the competence.
Right.
Yes.
May the best man win.
Amen.
So yesterday during the vetting process, the minority leader, Alexander Fenyomakin, mentioned that the NPP's target is to take a 150,
at least 150.
150 seats.
Yes.
How do you intend to do that, to capture that?
You see, sometimes it's not easy, actually.
Of course.
It's not easy. But we have seen the performance of this government, how they are going. And you know that, sincerely, most of the seats they won, right, those seats, we take them as a borrowed seat. Most of them were borrowed seats. And I tell you for a fact.
When you say borrow seeds, what
if I say borrow seed, it means it's just by mistake that you are able to get into that office. You understand? It's just by mistake. It's not as though the competence is there. You are able to deliver to the people, or you have what it takes to lead the people for a very long time. So some of those is, for example, like the Henry Quarte's constituency. Is it Ayawaso?
Is it West?
No, Ayawaso. Yes, Ayawaso West. Ayawaso West, yes. Newtown area
yes.
Side, Malata area. Yes. So you see that the guy that won that seat, have you heard from him before?
No.
Have you seen him in Parliament before? Abdurrauf. That man. I have never heard of him before. He never spoke in Parliament, and there's nothing happening in the constituency. So this is more like a borrowed seat, because the man is not doing anything for the people. And the people they can think, they can see what's going on. So come 2028, that seat, definitely we are going to take it back. Ayawaso Central, yes. Very well. So we are going to get that seat back, because the man is not doing anything. You've not even seen him in Parliament before, and there's nothing happening in the constituency.
Maybe he's in Parliament, but we are not hearing from him.
I mean, it's normal. We had a certain MP in Yagbakubor constituency some time ago who was in office for more than 8 years, and he never spoke for even once. And that's why we voted him out. So you see how it goes. If you don't contribute, if you don't work, if you don't get things done in the constituency, we'll get you out of office. And I live in Ayawaso Central. I know what's going on there. There's nothing happening in the constituency.
There's nothing happening.
Nothing happening.
Where specifically?
I live Newtown.
You live in Newtown?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
I churched there.
Eh?
I churched there. My church is there.
Oh, okay. Very well. So, there's nothing happening. Or have you seen anything happening since you sometimes come around?
Oh, I haven't really seen anything.
He's not in Parliament, that's one. He's not doing anything in the constituency, that's two. You're not voted into power to just occupy office by just, name of being an MP. So we're saying that a lot of them will get them back. And I believe it when Honorable the Afenyo Markin, the minority leader, said that his target is 150. It is going to happen. And I believe that we are going to have majority 2028 and we're winning the elections hands down.
Right. We are wishing you all the best again.
Thank you.
May the best man win. All right.
But
Now
yes,
to,
Dr. Baume will win.
yes. So now to the voting proceedings yesterday. How did you see it? And the people that have been designated to the new offices.
Yeah, so some of these positions I felt like they were long overdue. For example,
Zaneto.
Honorable Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings. It was long overdue. I mean, you cannot, aside the fact that she is competent, she has the intelligence, she has the experience to lead this party in whatever capacity or in certain capacities. I mean, she is the daughter of the founder of the National Democratic Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So it's surprising that she was not considered, I mean, all this while, or she's not been considered all this while for a ministerial position.
But should that be the reason, enough reason to give him a ministerial position?
No, that's why I mentioned two things.
Yeah.
Aside the fact that she is competent. I mean, you don't doubt her credibility, do you?
No, I don't.
You don't doubt her competence. You don't doubt her experience. Yeah, so she's an industrious woman that can contribute positively to the growth of this country. But it has finally happened, so there's no reason to blow horns about it. I'm only saying that some of them were long overdue. And I'm surprised that the honorable member for, I don't know the constituency, but he's a minister for lands and natural resources, Amakofi Bua.
Yes.
I am very, very surprised.
Why?
Right, as a young man. And I am scared for this Ghana, that this man is still in office after failing woefully in the fight against Galamsey. It is sad. And I sincerely don't know what he's doing. Himself and the Honorable Sam George. Communication. Tell me one achievement that we have had from the communication ministry.
I think one
399 data.
One thing will have to do with
Sam George has
the
failed.
Ministry will be when they introduce the.
Let me tell you this. The truth of the matter is that Honorable Sam George
SIM
has
card
failed.
re-registration again, and also
Very useless,
the Cybersecurity
very useless and inconsequential policy that it is not even needed as we speak. We don't need it. You remember him in opposition, that he will not do re-registration. That the NPP is using re-registration to scam the Ghanaian people. That he won't do. Even the Ghana card, this man spoke vehemently against it. He said he is not even going to do Ghana card. Such a person is now coming to say we should do re-registration. For what? He has failed to understand the issues. And I'm telling you that as a minister, he has failed. Sincerely, you can't mention any single achievement of that man in office. Neither can I. And I know the listeners are not also able, they cannot also mention. Because the man is not doing anything. The fight he started with DSTV, he failed woefully. The fight he started with MTN with regards to cost of data, he failed. In all those fights he undertook, he failed. He said he was going to bring back the Russian guy who came and slept with our women and took them pictures. He failed in that regard too. He fled. So I am worried that this man is still in office. Such incompetent person is still in office. Honorable Amakofi, but look at our water bodies. Treatment plants are being shut down. The water treatment plants, I mentioned that, right? We have water bodies all over the country. The so-called nine forest reserves have been destroyed.
But this didn't happen just yesterday. I mean, it started from somewhere. And it started from the previous administration, and now coming into the new administration.
That is wrong. Galamsey did not start. No, please.
But our water bodies were already destroyed.
What I'm saying is that
before the new administration
to state that water Galamsey started in the S1 administration is wrong.
Galamsey didn't start with the previous administration.
Very well.
Galamsey was there way back before the previous administration came into power. But what I'm trying to clarify is that these problems have already been there even before they came into power.
Yes, so the truth is that President Akufo-Addo fought Galamsey to a very good extent. President Mahama said he wasn't doing that, and that when he comes to office, he will do better than that. Today, he's doing worse than Akufo-Addo did. And that's the truth of the matter. He's doing worse, sincerely worse. And I am surprised that the so-called dignified or those that we so much respect in society today are now saying we should be praying for the water bodies to get clean. We should be praying for Galamsey to stop. Instead of holding the government accountable, putting fire on the government to stop the Galamsey. You remember when they came into office, they said they were going to export people to, some foreign countries so they can study how to do Galamsey without destroying the environment.
Oh, when was that?
Yes, that was part of the policies of President Mahama.
He said what policy was that?
That they are going to export people.
But the policy has a name. It doesn't have a specific heading. So that when we are
as part of the fight against Galamsey, he stated that emphatically.
That
and I can get you the
video.
Some people. That they are going to take people outside of Ghana to study how to do Galamsey.
How to mine legally or how to do Galamsey.
How to mine without destroying the environment.
Good.
That's what
that is legal mining.
That's legal mining.
Yes, and not illegal mining.
You see, sometimes it's very difficult to differentiate between
How
the two.
Is it difficult?
Because
small-scale mining is you mining with a license and you are mining legally without destroying our water bodies. Whereas the Galamsey is you destroying the water bodies and adding chemicals
you can have the certification to mine and your activities will still constitute illegal mining or Galamsey.
That is because our bodies are failing to regulate and
so that's why I say sometimes it's difficult to differentiate between the two. But the intention was that they wanted to ensure that we don't destroy the environment.
Right. But with what you said that the policy President John Dramani Mahama is bringing on board, if we have to be factual, we have to state it clear that he said he was going to take some people outside the country to learn how to mine legally and not illegally.
No. He didn't say. He said they want to learn how.
But you just admitted.
Please,
that
let me state it. He said he was taking people out of Ghana to learn how to mine without destroying the environment.
Good. So that is legal mining.
So, please, let's get it right.
Yes, we have to get it right.
If you are mining without destroying the environment, it doesn't mean you are doing legal mining. I am a person of specifics.
Then why are we fighting Galamsey?
What we are saying is that
then why are we fighting Galamsey?
In terms of having or the modalities or the technicalities of law, you can have the certification to mine.
Mm-hmm.
And you will still be doing activities that would amount to illegal mining. That would amount to Galamsey, destroying the environment. That would amount to, destroying our forest reserves.
Right.
And that is what we are against. But frankly speaking, you can also take someone out of Ghana to learn how to mine, and then the person will come and be mining, even though government will give them, or government may give them, certificate to, serve as licensed, miners. But that does not mean what they are going to do will not amount to destroying the environment. You understand what we're doing? So President Mahama, and we expected that after all these initiatives that they talked about, water reserve or forest reserve and our water bodies should be maintained. But instead, we have seen the worst of it. And that is why I'm saying that Honorable Amako Fibua should be taken out of office immediately, because that man has failed. It appears as though they are only targeting ACT members. So, I will not say much on that.
All right. So I'm trying to fact check what you mentioned.
Oh yeah. You can check it. It's everywhere. The internet never forgets. You get everything that you need to be sure of what I said.
All right. So about the mining and the legal mining and illegal mining. So what I have here is that legal mining has official government license and follows safety and environmental rules, whilst illegal mining operates without government permission, often breaking laws and damaging nature.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Basically, that is what I'm saying.
Mr.
You can have the license. The license will just serve as, it will just showcase you as a licensed miner. But your activities may still amount to destroying the environment.
But I think that if you mine legally and it still disrupts the environment,
we can
it is your responsibility as the
You see, as part of the
as a mining company to reclaim or to make sure that you put it back how it was. But with the galamsey, when you destroy it.
So do you believe the licensed miners, after destroying the environment, they replant trees, they make sure they recapture the environment?
Well, according to law, that's what is
yes, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, and that's why mining. But you remember when they were in opposition, they said we should ban all forms of mining, legal, illegal, galamsey, whatever. That they should ban it. You know why? Because we were not able to identify the kind of mining that is destroying the environment. We were not able to do that. And all forms of mining were destructive to our environment. So we wanted, a ban on mining. We declared state of emergency. But today the secretary of the NDC is telling us that declaring state of emergency is dangerous. What about saying it? Yeah?
He said doing it, yeah.
Yes, that declaring state of emergency is dangerous. But remember when they were in opposition, himself, Sami Okujeto Ablakwa, Ama Kofi Bua, including Honorable Haruna Idrisu, they all said we should declare state of emergency.
Yeah.
And that is even at the time the fight against galamsey was better than now. And today they are in office, they don't even want to hear anything called state, neither talk of emergency. So you see the inconsistencies in terms of principle.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Thank you, Mr. Razak. Yes, so that was just by the way with me and Mr. Razak. This is still the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. We'll be having our NDC communicator joining us shortly, right here in the studios. Right, we were trying to, buy some time for him to join us, but it looks like he's not here yet, but he'll be here soon. So let's get into the issues. So economic recovery, despite so 56.4% of Ghanaians remain in poverty. Economic recovery, but Ghanaians are still suffering. Does that mean that Ghanaians haven't recovered yet? That is the question that we are asking this morning. So according to a report from the World Bank, they are saying that 56.4% of Ghanaians remain in poverty. And despite recent economic growth, and which is widening spatial disparities, highlighting a disconnect between headline economic performance and living condition. The World Bank division says that the country's growth is yet to translate into broad-based improvement in standard living. He said that the situation reflects a gap between the economy's headline growth figures and the experience of a large section of the population. According to the World Bank, another challenge is the structure of Ghana's economic growth, which is being driven by sectors that have limited capacity to absorb workers. They say that this poses a growing challenge as Ghana's young population continues to enter the labor market, and they describe the situation as a structural imbalance that also demands urgent attention. Yeah, I think during the 2026 mid-year budget review, the Minister for Finance mentioned that Ghana is no longer poor. I stand to be corrected if I'm not stating him right. But he says that people are out of poverty. But reading
Who said that?
During the 2026 mid-year budget review presentation by the Finance Minister, he mentioned that I don't want to misquote him, neither do I want to.
So what was the effect of his statement?
Well, what he's trying to say is that our economy is growing and people are not struggling like how we used to be. But looking at the reports from World Bank, it says that 56.4% of Ghanaians still remain in poverty.
Thank you very much. And this has confirmed that you cannot always keep deceiving the people, right? The party came into office And then when they came into office, they promised us that we're going to see a better Ghana. They said we're going to see an improvement.
Right.
They said they were going to do better in terms of economic management.
Right. Sorry to disrupt you.
Okay.
So Finance Minister Dr. Kiselato Forson stated that about 950,000 Ghanaians moved out of multi-dimensional poverty in a single year.
950,000.
Yeah, 950,000 Ghanaians.
Okay, so that's not even up to 1 million.
Yes, multi-dimensional poverty.
Well, thank you very much. I want to state that it's about time government get to be honest with the Ghanaian people, right?
Yeah.
Government should deliver without deception, without partisan politics, without partisan football, without deflection. They should deliver in the interest of Ghanaian people. Why did I say this? When President Mahama came into office in about during the half-year review or something like that, he made mention that about 1 million people have found jobs. I'm sure you can remember.
Yeah, I can remember.
In Parliament, he said that to the Ghanaian people. Looking at the faces of the Ghanaian people, he told us that over 1 million people have found job. That was the first 1 year, right? Only for Ghana Statistical Service to come and tell us that what the president said was not true. That it was only 330,000 people that got jobs in the past 1 year. So now the question is, who lied to our president? Who deceived to the venerable President John Dramani Mahama? Or is it that President Mahama himself just wanted the Ghanaian people to clap for him even though nothing has been done? Was that the situation? And I think that those incompetent people around the president should be taken away. Do away with them so that you'll be able to deal with the Ghanaian people with all honesty, or in all honesty. Look at what is happening today. That there is a critical disconnect, right, between the growth or the economic growth and the realities on the ground. Today you are telling us that inflation has reduced drastically to 3%. And now if you go to the market, just a single tomato like this, right, is being sold for close to 5 Ghana cedis. What is the issue? A disconnect. Even though inflation is at 3%, the Ghanaian people are struggling. So is that the progress they promise us? Now look at the poverty rate. 56.4, right?
Yeah.
Now in 2024, it was 24.6. 2024, it was 24.6. And in 2023, it was about 40 something, or is it 26? I'm not able to remember right. But it has never crossed to 50. And mind you, this is the government that told us that they were coming to implement 24-hour economy with a formula 133 shifts. And now let me tell you, if you had 300,000 workers in the military, you double it by the 133 shifts, you are going to have about 900,000. 900,000. You're going so over 600,000 people will be recruited, and that is the military alone. Let's do the analysis well. That's the military alone.
Yeah.
Go to the police service and do that. Go to the prison service. Do it across board. Go to the various agencies and implement agenda 24-hour economy with the formula 133 shift. And I tell you for a fact, we are going to be going into different countries looking for people to come and work for us. The accurate implementation of 24-hour economy will solve the joblessness that we are facing in this country. So I'm telling you for a fact. I'm sure you were checking to verify my statement. Good. That in 2023 or 2024, the poverty rate was at 26%. And fast forward in 2026, we are experiencing about 56.4. That is whooping scary. Very scary. The government that promised to do good for the Ghanaian people, today unemployment rate has also increased to about 30%. You people came to meet it at 25%. You have taken it to 30% after promising us 24-hour economy.
So the poverty rate was 47.0% in 2023.
Yes, 2023. And if you check 2024, it's about 26 point something. So you can see the rate at which this country is diminishing or is going backwards in terms of progress. Even though the figures are looking good, the Ghanaian people are struggling. The Ghanaian people are struggling. And that's the reality. Yesterday, when I went to buy granite at a certain woman's shop, right, I asked her, I saw the granite, and I tell you for a fact, I couldn't believe it. Very small like that.
25 points.
And she said, you see that I'm right. The woman said it's 20 cedis. Sorry, the granite is 2 cedi. I said, what? President Mahama has done Ghana good.
But how much is Ghana sold?
Huh?
But the shop over here sells Ghana for 1 cedi.
I'm telling you, if you look at, if you see it,
but you're buying something for 1 cedi and you want it to be plenty.
No, but what are you saying? No, you see, when we talk about economic growth or progress in the economy, these are the basic things we look at. The consumables, the ordinary poor Ghanaian. You understand? Trust me, there are people who, when they spend 1 cedi, it is normal amount as humans. The value for what you are spending, what do you get? The value of what you get from what you spend. That's what we are talking about. The woman said, so I was like, they said President Mahama has done Ghana good. Inflation is down. There's progress within the economy or in the economy. So what are you saying? Do you know what the woman told me? She said that the same way or the same prices they were selling, in some instances it has increased, and that in some instances it has maintained. That's what that there's no changes. That's what the woman told me. There's no changes. But and you see, that's the realities in the market. The realities that we are talking, those are the realities. Right? And trust me, every household in this country, right, they know what is happening, and the government should put away the antics. They should put away the paper economy and look at the realities and that's what people are interested in, the realities. They say inflation is at 3%. Is there money in your pocket? No. You wake up, you can't even get three square meals, and they are telling you that economy is good. There's inflation is down, interest rate is down, what is down, but there's no money in the economy. And now you are coming to tell us that even though we have interest rate, all of that free, but how does it reflect to the ordinary Ghanaian? How does the ordinary Ghanaian benefit from that? And we have seen that there's a failure, because look at the figure, 56.4. A clear disconnect, serious disconnect. So I'm sad as a country, as a citizen of this country, I'm sad that after promising us gold, they came and they are delivering charcoal. After promising us a better Ghana, they are delivering a worse Ghana. This is we can't even finish discussing it, because let me tell you, if, for example, NPP wasn't doing good in office, right, they voted for the NPP to come into office, and in most instances you see them trying to play game of equalization, when sincerely you know that we did better than you. We did seriously better than them. You campaign at the back of unemployment. The people trusted it and they gave you power. Today, unemployment has tripled. It has even moved beyond what you came to meet. That means you are not doing anything in that regard. Poverty rate that was at 26 point something %, you have moved it to about 56.4. So what exactly are you doing for the Ghanaian people? That's the question. What exactly are you doing?
Well, that assessment is from the World Bank, and as I read,
and please let me come.
It differs.
I don't know.
From
I want to ask a brother here.
Let me introduce him before you ask him.
Okay, so let me ask. I'll ask you the question. I mean, you will not be the right person to answer the question. He should be the right person. Do you believe in the figures of the
World Bank?
As a Ghanaian, or I mean a member of the NDs, do you believe in that figure? Mudazi? I'm sure he doesn't believe it. And that is the same way Sami Jemfi is now telling us. The man who relies so much on figures of IMF to discredit the MPP government, today the IMF has put before him a loss of 1.7 billion. And this man is telling us that the IMF themselves doesn't even understand what they are saying. They don't understand what they are saying. Because he manned an office, Gold Board, the CEO of Gold Board, and you made losses amounting to about $1.7 billion. Today, IMF is not credible. That's what the guy is telling us. And so I'm sure even the 56.4 that the Bank of Ghana talked about, my brother here does not believe it. Because anything against their party, then they feel like the IMF does not like Ghana. World Bank does not like the progress of this country. World Bank hates President John Dramani Mahama. That's why they are giving us these figures. But that is the reality. You cannot always do propaganda and win, because the reality will expose you, and the Ghanaian people will see your anus.
Right. So what I have here says that it does not mean that 56.4% of Ghanaians are poor under every official measure of poverty. Poverty statistics can differ depending on the poverty line and the method being used. For example, the Ghana Statistical Service multi-dimensional poverty measures looks beyond income.
Don't play defense card.
Oh no, I'm reading
don't play defense. That's a defense card.
Oh no, I'm reading what is here.
It is inconsequential to the matter on the ground.
No, listen to me. I'm reading what is here so we can understand this better.
Okay.
Maybe perhaps World Bank is using a different methodology, and just as they've stated that, it differs. So they gave an example where they mentioned that the Ghana Statistical Service multi-dimensional poverty measure looks beyond income to include areas such as health, education, living condition, and also employment. So these are what they stated. So you still stand to it that indeed 56.4% of Ghanaians are living in poverty. Well, joining us right in the studios, we have Mr. Mudase. He is the NDC communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Mudase. And you're welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much.
Right, it's good to have you.
It's good to be here as well, as usual.
Yes.
Making sure that we also contribute our quota to the development of this country by also making our opinions and making sure that our listeners and viewers get the correct information and perhaps some of the propaganda that may be churned out by Asylum Down headquarters members here. I think that my brother has had his time, and I'm struggling to understand where he is coming from, because we came to meet an economy that was in a very ailing state. If for nothing at all, it was in a mortuary. I mean, going to be buried, and today we were able to recover the economy. And all signs and symptoms have indeed proven that we are on a path to total economic recovery. Indeed, the presidency and the government has not shied away from the fact that we have not recovered totally, and for that matter, we will get there. And the Ghanaian people too understand, because of the mess we came to meet, the 8 years of, recklessness, incompetence, and not being able to govern this country to the right path. Today we are doing a single-digit inflation of 5%, and today we have our exchange rate being stable for the past months that I can imagine. The exchange rate has been within 10 to 11 Ghana cedis, and as we speak, it's around 11 point something. That is the stability that the Ghanaian economy needs. Today, we are making sure that all our flagship programs are yielding efforts. From the Big Push program, where you go to various communities and regions around this country, all of them are experiencing road expansion some way, somehow. some of them are also experiencing some asphalt, coal, and you could see that the road minister going around inspecting these works. Those are the monies that we are using, the the Ghanaian monies that we are using it for. And so for that matter, Ghanaians are looking up to delivering. He's speaking about jobs, employment, and all that. The government has been able to make sure that we run the military recruitment exercise. We are running the teacher recruitment exercise. And recently, we were able to absorb the nurses that they were not able to absorb, give them financial clearance, over 14,000 nurses in this country. That shows that how good the economy is. Because if the economy is not good, you wouldn't be able to as it were, contain all of these things. And so for that matter, we welcome the World Bank report. The government has not shied away from criticisms, just that, as we said, you must be constructive in your criticism. And so for that matter, the NPP shouldn't see this as a way to go and talk anyhow, because if you talk anyhow, the police will come for you. The Ghana police that was working during your era is the same Ghana police that is working. I don't know what has changed, but that is what we are looking at. And so for that matter, they coming out with this report saying that there's 56% of Ghanaians living in poverty or whatever.
Right, the report is from World Bank.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they have their factors perhaps that they used in making sure, but from our point of view, we think that perhaps we could take a clear look at it. I mean, I know that the government will have to look at the factors they use in coming to arrive at that conclusion. And if it is indeed true that 56% of Ghanaians are living in poverty, or not being able to get hand to mouth. My brother here would not agree with that report, but because of Jandam, he needs to agree with it. Today, he's
so in effect, he doesn't believe in the report.
I'm not saying I don't believe in the report. You need to look at some of the factors for which reason, they came out with that report. You understand? It's not everything that is being thrown out there. You see, we must be consciously making sure that we do away with inferiority complex as a nation. We must make sure that the white man's superiority, feeling that they know it all and that we cannot challenge their what do you call it? We need to challenge it. You understand? Those were the same figures that you also used in campaigning prior to the 2016 elections. You spoke about inflation, you spoke about the exchange rate, you spoke about petroleum prices, you spoke about unemployment rates. During your era, you came to meet an unemployment rate at 7%. When you were leaving government, unemployment rate was up to 14%. Today, as you speak, when you check, unemployment rate is around 13.6%. The figures don't lie. I'm telling you, you have to check. Unemployment rate has come down to 13.6%. You can check right now, you can Google it. So that's why I'm telling you that we have done our best. And so for that matter, our flagship programs, including the Ejumoro program, where we are giving grants to business people to be able to execute their business. We are doing national apprenticeship program, making sure that we send young people to these people. All these are social interventions and programs that are doing 1 million codes program.
13.7.
Yes. On what do you call it? The 1 million codes program, making sure that we roll the young people in IT. We are also making sure that we roll out our free primary health care, where people can get access to health care easily. These are the policies that are directly benefiting the people of Ghana and making sure that the economy is thriving. When people work, they generate tax. When people work, we get income. When you look at currently, we are making sure that even our electricity and water tariffs, we've been able to make sure that we negotiate with the IMF, and so for that matter, the quarterly increment is not being felt that as much. We've had a reduction in time span, and we've had an increment in time span. So all these factors affect the livelihood of the people. You see, at first there used to be an uproar. When you go to the market, you go to buy something, the following day you go, we had an inflation of 54%. You see, when my brother speaks, today inflation is, single digit, does it bring money to your pocket? But those were the numbers you stood on to campaign against us. So are you trying to tell us that those factors do not matter anymore? And in fact, inflation at 5% indeed puts money in your pocket. Because when you look at inflation at 54% and inflation at 5% as we are doing it currently, you should know that at the end of the day, when you are going to buy something, inflation means that when you're going to buy something, the price of that commodity, it will take a bit longer for the price of that commodity to even increase or perhaps remain at the same for a very a long time period. But during a time when inflation rose up to 54%, you printed money into the system by the Bank of about 60 billion Ghana cedis into the system to make sure they stabilize the economy. You couldn't do it. You brought your gold for oil. You couldn't do it. So I'm wondering what policies that you guys were able to put in place, for which reason we were still, in that distress mode as a country. We had You channel money into your cathedral. We couldn't see the fruit of it. You channel money into NAPCO. We don't know where they are. You are still owing them as a government. We channel money into 1D1F. We don't know where the dams are. You channel money into one factory, what do you call it? Was it one constituency, one factory? Where is it? One district, one factory. Where is it? What are the benefits of those policies? You see, those well-crafted slogans were good to the ears, but the implementation, because if you did all these things in the right way, we wouldn't be here as we're speaking. We wouldn't be, and then you want to blame a government of 15 to 16 months for perhaps what do you call it, an update that has been brought out that 56%. So you sincerely believe that as you sit here, the government of 15 months is responsible for the 56% of Ghanaians living in poverty. I mean, let's be fair to ourselves. You had 8 good years. We are not trying to blame you, but he who comes with equity must come with clean hands. At least nowadays, we must bring some hand sanitizer so that we know that we should be on a level. So once my brother was speaking, I expected him to at least say that, oh, we indeed agree that we contributed to these factors. But that is why there is a change of government, for which reason you are encouraging the government to level up its game. Then when I come, I know that I am meeting you halfway. We are all at fault at the moment. But when you come and throw your hands in the air and behave as if the NDC government came into power some 16 years ago, and so for that matter, from then up to now, we are responsible for what is happening. It is indeed sad that every Ghanaian or every society, we have these kind of poverty levels in our schools, in our communities, which we are all trying to eliminate as a government. We need, collective responsibility. The government will continue to do its mandate. Mm-hmm. But I am of the conviction that we need to look at the nitty-gritty of the report, what constituted the report, and some of the things that were factored in. Because if today you're having a petroleum price of around 12 to 13 Ghana cedis, which was better, we came to meet a petrol price of almost 22 Ghana cedis during our era. We brought it to almost 12 to 13 Ghana cedis today. We have been able to cushion the ordinary Ghanaian when it came to the fuel prices. When it was increasing, the government initiated a 2 Ghana cedis levy to be reduced, a reduction in it. And today we've not seen the transport operators going on strike like it used to happen. And so for that matter, you see, every sector that I am speaking of, there is some kind of initiative that has been ongoing. There's some kind of impact that has been putting on the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian. And when you juxtapose that to their government, I am struggling to look at which policy can even match currently our policies. The Jumawura program that we have given grants to people who are working, the National Apprenticeship Program, the 1 Million Coders Program, 16 regional, regions have all these airports, passport centers where people can easily walk in and apply. We have our South African, Ghanaians who have come in. They have been offered a job by some corporate societies and organizations. We're able to get them some jobs. In all these crises that we are facing, we've been able to make sure that we cushion the ordinary Ghanaian with some of these policies. So at the end of the day, we are getting there. We are not going to discard the report. Mm-hmm. We welcome it in good faith. And so for that matter, I believe that the government will have to sit down to assess it, take a look at it, and see how best we can help to, further reduce the poverty levels in this country. But for our brothers, they only see it as a political, a political thing to use to propagate their agenda. And I'm not surprised, one of their National General Secretary aspirants, Mr. Sylvester, speaking at one of the occasions, said that, opposition, they should be able to set up propaganda. It's no less about facts. And so for them, at home, we are speaking facts. They are not interested in it. They want to just set out propaganda and come and speak to the Ghanaians. You see, right now, the ordinary Ghanaian voter is very, very intelligent. People are very much awake, not like the past, where you can just come and throw anything into their eyes and they'll buy into it. People are very much aware. Today, the free senior high school policy they are talking about, when we spoke about review, people said we are going to cancel it. So, you see, in terms of trust levels for both political parties, it is diminishing at your sector. You should be telling us how well you want to gain the trust of the people. We have reviewed the free senior high school. Have you cancelled it? We have not. We have given much investment to the free senior high school than any other government. Much, budget allocation. I cannot remember the exact figure we allocated, but it has been written and it has been known fact that the allocation that we made to the free senior high school is unprecedented. That is what we have done to the ordinary people, and we have gained their trust. You who said we are going to cancel, we didn't cancel it. And so for that matter, that trust level between us and the ordinary Ghanaian has been built. So you who is an opposition, we welcome your criticisms. You understand? But you must do it and do it constructively in recognizing the fact that you also played a role into the downfall of this country.
Right. So you mentioned about the factors the World Bank actually used to get the results as to why 56.4% of Ghanaians still remain in poverty. So one of the factors they raised was employment inelasticity. Economic growth was heavily concentrated in capital-intensive sectors like the natural resource extraction and I believe gold mining. And these sectors have a limited capacity to absorb workers, leaving the expanding young labor force trapped in low-paying and informal jobs. The mentioned loss of purchasing power, high inflation's peaks in preceding years highly eroded household wealth. A severe spike in food prices and utility tariffs directly falls hundreds of thousands of citizens below the lower middle income poverty line. And they also mentioned widening spatial disparities and severe regional inequality exists between urban hubs and rural zones. Rural communities, especially in the northern region, face massive infrastructure gaps, lower agricultural investment, and minimal access to electricity or healthcare. Spending cuts over revenue generation. The fiscal surplus celebrated in the headline data was achieved by cutting public capital spending by 38% rather than widening the tax base. And this limited the state's capacity to fund critical public safety nets or community development. Where I'm more interested happens, it is the loss of purchasing power. We go on grounds each and every each and every day to speak to these traders. One thing they keep saying is that they have noticed that they say that the economy is growing, we are doing well as a country, but they are not feeling the impact in the market. They only get to see them on paper, hear them in the news stories, based on reports, press conferences, and even the budget review presentation, and then all of that. That's where they get to find out that the economy is doing well. But when you go on grounds, people are not really feeling the impact. They tell you that omuba krom you say enyama omatete nyama so enso nkofo nton nyama nkofo nton ade.
Well, I'm here to see. I think there was during the 2024 era that I saw a Ghanaian businessman or one of the businesswomen indeed agreed that she was making profit. Many of them.
And what business was this person into?
I think some of those kind of interviews that you guys conduct in the market, I mean, there was that kind of banter, and you could see that they're all politically aligned. I mean, some felt the market was doing, some also. So there will always be divergent views about some of these things, because at the end of the day, what you classify as being affordable may not be affordable to everyone as well. So when you go to the market, I mean, they would always want to create that impression as if market is not doing well, but yet every day they are there. Yet every day they make profit, they make sales. So I'm not saying that there is no credibility in what we are saying, but sometimes we are Ghanaians, we know ourselves, you know, and how some people tend to paint a certain picture if they feel they want to propagate a certain agenda. And so for that matter, my brother here spoke about granite. I mean, when we all, 8 years ago, granite was around 20 pesos. I can attest to the fact that granite was around 20 pesos. Who sent you to the 1 Ghana cedis in the first place? So that means that you came 8 years, you contributed to that factor. You understand? When you were leaving power, petroleum price was at 4 Ghana cedis. You took it to 22 Ghana cedis in this country. We saw it in this country. We have succeeded in bringing it down to almost 12 to 13 Ghana cedis. So you see, when you make...
Please correct the untruth statement. There's no way you buy fuel for 13 cedis in this country.
I am telling you, we brought it to
nowhere.
So I am telling you that we brought
the least you can get is 14 cedis, 99 pesos.
14 cedis and 13 cedis. What's the difference?
Oh, they don't have difference. Can you imagine? There's no
There's
difference.
points on it.
Money.
No, I am telling you that in this country, you sent it to 22 Ghana cedis. You understand? And so for you to take a 15-month government, to me reduce it to the 14 cities you are talking about, you should be shy to even come and sit down to criticize that government. You should be shy.
Okay.
You should be shy to come and criticize that government. You understand? So if you sit down to paint a picture, you see, I am making all these points because I do accept, you understand, and we do agree that indeed there is more work to be done.
Right.
That is why we will give me a 4-year mandate. And so for that matter, at the end of the 4 years, the Ghanaian would assess us and just oppose it to the 8 years of your mismanagement and see who has done better. And that's why I'm outlining that indeed, the market women have genuine concerns. And what they describe as affordable may not be affordable to everyone.
Right.
Marketing koye. Every time there have always been those things. That, and you see the factors that they mentioned, the World Bank mentioned. It is good. I mean, we are trading in gold, we are trading in the mining areas, we are looking at the oil. I mean, the oil sector. These factors or these places indeed have limited capacity to. I mean, it recruits more people in terms of the jobs or the unemployment issues. And that is why we believe that it's not just about schooling that much. Create jobs. We have introduced the National Apprenticeship Program. We have introduced the National Coders Program. We are making sure that a Jumawara program boosts those who have businesses to have the capacity to. These are aside the formal sector. You see, it's not just about schooling and coming to have a certificate and all that. Aside the teacher recruitment, which every government does anyway, comes to recruit more people. The nurses we have absorbed, we don't boast those as an achievement. So the factors they have mentioned, they have been there. You see, they mentioned one of the factors saying that it precedes previous years, preceding other years. So that means that it's not a one day something, or let me say, it's not just on this government that this is happening. It has been happening. The factors they have mentioned, rural and urban, I mean, what do you call it? Infrastructure gap has been there. And that is what we have been preaching, especially the government has tried its best to make sure the big push program, we equally are distributed within the country. And when you go to the northern sector, there are roads that are being constructed, the Chiman to War Road, the Boli to War Road, they're all being worked on. I'm surprised my brother is not, I mean, I should be preaching and telling us in his community, in his constituency, the big push programs that are ongoing. I'm a Sama into, I mean, Pokwasu Road. It's been worked on. We've come to meet it at a level. We are continuing with it. So, at the end of the day, generally, we welcome it. My brother asked me if I believe in it. I believe in it, and I think that we need to work more. They should be telling us what are their alternatives. What would they come to resolve? Because you had 8 years and you couldn't do it and we are facing. So currently, you should be telling us that when you come, what will you do differently?
Right. Thank you so much, Brima. For government, the indicators are that we are able to substantiate that the economy is actually doing well is the exchange rates, the stability of the CD, the inflation, and also certain one or twos. That actually shows that the economy is working. But what is important to the ordinary Ghanaian is, have their income actually increased? Have they gotten a decent job? Are they able to afford rent? Are they able to afford food? Are they able to afford transportation? So right now the difference is economic recovery on paper and economic recovery in the lives of the Ghanaian people.
Good. So you see, thank you very much. My brother talked about a lot of things, which I think is important we set the record straight. He made mention that Sylvester made some statement regarding propaganda. Right? It is important that we draw his attention to the fact that they were the first political party that established an office called Propaganda Secretary. Yes, that's their position. And the duty of that secretary was to set propaganda, lie about people, say untruth about the government, and to sort of gain some kind of favor from the Ghanaian people, and that's what they are doing.
Did Sylvester say that or not? I thought you were going to say Sylvester didn't say it.
He said it.
He said it. That you people are propagandists.
But must you campaign on it?
No,
because you know that you people set up an office for that propaganda job. So you shouldn't even mention it. You know what? You shouldn't mention it.
Is going to have an office for that.
We did.
Salonda is going to create a propaganda, because that's what Sylvester said. That you people have to set a propaganda office so that you people have to make sure that you argue not based on facts.
Maybe we'll do what you did. Maybe we'll do what you did. I mean, you did it and it wasn't wrong. Was it wrong? It wasn't wrong. So I mean, there's no problem if we do it.
Oh, okay.
You talked about free SHS. Yeah. You and I remember very well that President Mahama stated that if you have about 321 million Ghana cedis to spend, right, he will not spend it in free education. Do you remember that statement? So today, you are coming to tell me that you people have invested so much in free SHNs that we should clap for you. When in the first place, you people set up committees You march on the street with songs, free education, 419. Do you remember those things, music? Yes. All in the interest or in an attempt to destroy free SHS, to stop it from happening. Today you want us to clap for you because you have made an allocation for free SHS. You must be ashamed of yourself. No, you must. It is only an unprincipled kind of a politician that will speak against a policy and then turn around to come and be seeking for praises because you made just an allocation for such policy. I mean, let's not deceive ourselves. The ordinary Ghanaian is intelligent. The ordinary Ghanaian knows what's happening. So it is, I mean, very insincere to state that we should clap for you because you have made so much allocation to free SHS. Now, as part of the reason why we have issues when it comes to employment, you people told us in your 2026 budget that 2025, that you are creating about 800,000 jobs. And you know what? About 450,000 of those jobs are coming from the construction side. So you see why the 56.4% is scary. 400, close to 500,000 of those jobs were coming from construction side.
Temporary.
How does that solve our unemployment problems? Because this is, I mean, for a particular period of time, and that's all for the person. The person will have to come to the job market again, looking for job.
Again.
It doesn't solve the problem. Then finally, my brother talked about fuel prices. It is important we set the record straight, and that's what I'm going to do. This is 31st December 2024. Just when we finish our 8-year tenure. Super. Petrol price was around 14.75. Petrol, right? 14.75. Diesel, 14.99. Right? And the higher ones are 14.99. I mean, we left diesel and petrol at 14.75 and 14.99 respectively. Do you get it?
Yes.
Good.
I'm listening to you.
Now we are in 2026. I want to give you the figures of 2026 prices. Then you know that we did to and fro movement. To and fro movement. We haven't gone anywhere. And today what we have today is worse than what we left for them. Today, and I'm going to give you super, because that's the reference point I'm going to make. Super today, petrol is selling at 15.43.
And diesel?
Are you getting it? Mm-hmm. And diesel 17.69. Remember in December, the one I mentioned, it was about 14.99. Mm-hmm. You people are doing today 17.69. And petrol that was around 14.75, you are now doing 15.43. Did we go or did we come?
We are stable.
So you understand? We have gone back. Today we are even worse than we left it for you. So look, it is important we stop the fuel politics, because we know that you people, it is not because of your competence that is, bringing some. I mean, that left fuel prices to a certain 12% or 11 cities. I mean, somewhere in February. It was not because of your competence. Or if that is the standard of measure, are you telling me today that you are becoming incompetent, and that's why we are having the 70? Is that why you are telling me?
You usually used it for campaign in 2016.
So you see, what I'm saying is that don't do fuel politics here, because you don't have control over it. You don't have the competence enough. What we left for you, you have done worse than that, and so we shouldn't even be mentioning it. We shouldn't even be mentioning it. And today, I'm happy you said you believe in the 56.4% poverty rate. I'm happy you said you believe in that. Now, you are now coming to tell us that let's look at specifics as to why it is this and this and that.
The factors.
Yes, the factors that constituted the 56.4. But, you see, when government is not doing well, they are so quick to rush to factors that constitute certain things to justify themselves from the poor performance. That is what he's taking to do.
Oh, but
they are trying to justify themselves and to, take themselves out of blame for the poor performance that they are doing.
But Mr. Razak, doesn't the factors rather help the government to find out which areas that needs priority so that they'll be able to sort that out?
The factor that constitutes the 56.4.
Yes.
The factors, he's raising it as a defense, and that's what I'm saying. Raising it as a defense is not the right thing. Because look, let me tell you, you said we were poor. We did bad in terms of governance. So there's no way you should come into office and you are doing much worse than we did. And then when we are calling you out, you want to state that it's because of this and this and that. It doesn't add up. That's what we are saying. Today, you see, I tell you for a fact, when it comes to governance, the government of President Akufo-Addo is one of the best we have had in this country. One of the best we have had. Now, imagine that today there is no any pandemic, there is no crisis facing us as a country, and we are selling, or we have fuel at 15.43. We have fuel at 15.43 and diesel at 17. No crisis.
No, are we not facing a crisis?
What are the crises?
International crisis.
Which international crisis?
Is it the Ukraine and the US?
Oh, should we talk about it? President Mahama stated that Russia is about 7,500 or 7,000 kilometers away from Ghana, and that there's no way happenings in Russia should affect our economy.
But I affected.
That's a factual. Is it a fact? Do you agree? He said that. Yeah, he must agree. So you see, he said it. So today he can't even mention that, because it would amount to, lack of principles. It would amount to lack of principles. And I tell you, some of the appointees of President Mahama today should have resigned. Right? The likes of Okujeto Ablakwa, the likes of Sam George. You remember Ablakwa telling us that when they are in government, and he's saying it on principle, when they are in government and anybody uses private jet, he will resign. That is his principles. That man is still in office.
By someone
after so many use of private jets in this country. President Mahama himself, the vice president.
Whose private jet did he use?
Private jet is private jet. Do you understand? When we say private jet, it's private jet. Something that is not owned by the state. No, I'm telling you that private jet is a jet that is not owned by state.
So private jet is private jet.
So private jet is a private jet. Whether it is used by So
whether it's for the brother or the mother,
it doesn't matter. What is private is private. So you understand? So President Mahama today, he used private jet before and on countless occasions. So we expected your Okujeto Ablakwa, the foreign minister, foreign affairs minister, he should have resigned.
The best foreign affairs minister we've had in recent
I said he should have resigned.
He's the best foreign affairs
minister. That man should resign. He doesn't have principles. If he had principles, he should resign.
You are talking about private jet.
So what I'm saying is that, and you heard Sam George, that when they come into office, President Mahama will know no peace until he signed the LGBTQI bill. You see what is happening?
Why?
Over 18 months into office.
Has Parliament passed the LGBTQ? You and I, we are in Parliament. Has Parliament passed it?
Has Parliament passed what?
The LGBTQ bill.
So you see, this is today.
The man
let me make my point, my brother. We don't even know whether it is passed or not, because it was passed by Parliament. Speaker said they should reconsider it. Ayerga said it has been passed, so we don't know which is which.
So is it the fault of the president? Is it the fault of the president?
That what?
That the bill has not been brought to his table, because the president stated emphatically that if you bring the bill to my table, I will sign it.
You see, this is a poor defense. You know why?
No.
It's poor defense because you have about 180 something members in Parliament.
Yes.
That's number one. You and I know that a bill can be passed within a day. You know, I know it.
Yes.
They can bring a bill in Parliament, pass it within a day.
Yes.
So ask yourself, why is it not appearing on the other paper?
Oh, but that is government business.
No, why is it not appearing on the other paper?
The business committee.
No, relax. You are in government. you have the majority. The majority run the government business in the house. So why is it not appearing on the other paper?
The business committee.
It's simply because. Let me tell you why.
You want to drag your
It's
own
simply
meaning from
because.
it.
No, I want to tell you why.
But with
because
what you're about to say, do you have any facts to it?
Eh?
Yes. What you're about to say, do you have any
You see,
facts?
so we deduce conclusion on certain things based on how they are being done.
Yes.
So I am telling you, I've not even said what I'm saying.
And so what is it?
You are
No,
playing,
I want to know. I want to read more about it.
Yeah, so you let me
because I'm equally interested about that bill.
You are supposed to wait for me to say what I'm saying. Then you
no,
ask
that
me.
is why I'm asking you. Do you have it so I can look for it quickly so we all read it together?
The reason why they've not passed it.
The reason why it's not on the order
paper, like
is not on business.
Because the government does not take it as a priority.
As a priority.
That's what you think.
Okay.
That is what it is.
That is what you think.
But I've told you that we know that a bill can be passed within a day. If it's a priority of government. Wait. The gold board bill. Do you know how it was passed?
It was passed
in the night when we were sleeping. They sneaked into parliament and passed
right.
it.
Mr.
Do you understand that?
Mr. Before
we were sleeping when they went and passed the LGBTQ, the gold board bill. It is because it is of priority to you guys. It was important. It was of importance to you.
But we have passed it.
Today, LGBTQ, when Samjo told us that it destroys our family values, it destroys, the very basic things that hold us as an African people.
You believe in those
I believe in that. Yes. So it should be an issue of priority to us as a country.
Right.
So that bill, it shouldn't even be a private member's bill.
Right.
Government should take it up, let it pass. Within a day, they can do it. And I'm worried. Look, I'm worried that today.
But you said it has not been passed. Now you are saying
I'm
saying
that he said it has been passed. He said the Erega said it has been passed. Speaker said they should recall it. How is the problem of the president? That is my point too. The president said if it comes to my table, I will sign it. The parliament you are speaking of is made of the minority and the majority.
So
the bill has not come to me.
Even that statement, President Mahama said that when they brings it, he will sign.
Yes.
And then he later on went to a program in the United Kingdom to state that the LGBTQI bill is still far away from becoming a law. Yes. And I was wondering why the president, maybe he wanted to take an action in court, because look, let me tell you, if the president wants this to be
about LGBT,
yes. So if the president wants this to be passed, if he wants it to be passed, he will instruct the majority leader. They will put it before. They will make sure it appears on the order paper. Yes. And then within a day they can pass it to become a law.
Right.
That same day, they can send it to the president.
Right.
Or maybe there are some procedural requirements.
Right.
I'm not so sure.
So
but when they send it to the president, he will look at it and sign. It doesn't have to take us months. It doesn't have to take us weeks.
Right.
Do you understand that?
Right.
So what I'm simply saying is that unprincipled, kind of people in office is what is made up of your government.
Right. Mr. Reza.
Yes.
Briefly, before we move on to our next topic for discussion, I know that we have something we call the macroeconomics and also the microeconomics.
Sure.
And what we are experiencing now, the growth we are experiencing now as a country is the macroeconomics. How then, what would you recommend for the government to do for it to translate into the microeconomics? Because I know it's going to take time.
There are in some instances, government has a policy that they call we have a contractionary monetary policy and we have expansionary monetary policy.
And what's that?
So if the government wants to expand the economy, it wants to make sure that the Ghanaian people, they get investment. Government begins to offer interest-free loans to people.
Okay.
They begin to give incentives to the Ghanaian people and then make funds available for them to invest. That is basically how to get the economy going. You understand?
Yeah.
But what we have since been practicing is contractionary monetary policy. And that is why we are able to keep the inflation rate at 3%. Because the government is mobbing out the funds from the economy. It doesn't give out money for investments and all of that. And when government even does, they do that with some percentage of interest on it, which is usually high. And so most often than not, people don't recommend going for those loans. And that is why we are having these issues. Right. So for it to reflect, government should use expansionary monetary policy, get money into the system, and then let the Ghanaian people get the benefit of governance.
Right. Brahma.
Yes.
Under 1 minute, can you adapt to?
So I think that, you see, it is good that these international bodies have a say in how we govern as a nation.
Exactly.
But we need to slowly and consciously move away by sticking with just they are saying. You see, my brother speaks as if, my brother speaks as if we shouldn't, probably interrogate some of the reports that we need to. You understand? They are not perfect institutions. Although you used some of their reports for campaign during your era, we equally used, their ways to campaign against you in your era. Because His Excellency, the former President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumi, made it clear that the fundamentals of an economy has to do with the exchange rate. And so for that matter, as a Ghanaian, when I'm sitting down here, my exchange rate is good. According to Dr. Mahmoud Baumi, the economy is good. Yeah, so I'm struggling to understand why the NPP today do not believe in those words. I don't know. Maybe he may bring, you see, the issue about the economy, like he said, I don't know, we as a people have to sit down to restructure our governance system from the schooling system to educational system to wherever, because we all pretend to be working and the government also pretend to be paying us. And His Excellency, the former President Kufuor, said it. And so for that matter, if all these things are going on, wayward, and the government is putting in effort, we need to encourage the government to put in more effort. You understand? I will not sit here and say that the poverty levels in the country is not high. It is, but we are putting more effort. And I believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the government as a whole with his policies, I don't know, they will be vindicated. We need to make sure that most Ghanaians are out of the poverty levels.
So one question I'll ask is, yes, you are buying Papa. The economy is doing well, but World Bank says 56.4% of Ghanaians still remain in poverty. Are you one of them? Are you part of the percentage? Drop your comment in the comment section. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do want to join us right here on the morning show. This is the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Right, let's look at our next topic briefly before we call it a wrap. So yesterday during the vetting process, the minority in government, minority in parliament, walked out during the vetting of the Supreme Court nominees because they felt the process was rushed and violated parliamentary rules. And the reason for the walkout is the appointment committee scheduled the vetting just 3 days after receiving the nomination. The minority leader Alexander Afenyomarkin argued that rushing the process bypassed the required publication period. This waiting period allows the public to submit feedback and memoranda. The minority stated that there was no sudden vacancy on the bench to justify skipping standard procedures. The minority chief whip Frank Anodomper stated that the caucus refused to take part in what they viewed as a breach of established practice. So therefore, the vetting process went ahead without the minority. Raima.
Yes. A lawyer has brought his constitution. It's not easy.
So I should go to lawyer.
So I think that the minority leader is overdoing certain things. You understand?
And when you say he's overdoing, what?
Yesterday I watched him. He was screaming on top of his voice.
Yeah.
You were giving much time to read a whole written view about what you guys think about the nomination of the chief, the justices to the Supreme Court. Everyone heard you. Everyone listened. Then it went to the first deputy speaker. He gave a ruling on it and said that we have heard your concerns. And so for that matter, he has given a ruling that the what do you call it?
The proceeding should still go on.
Yes, the vetting should go on because they do not see justified, because the reason for the recall was clear, that you are coming to vet the appointment committee for you to come together and vet the president's, what do you call it, nominations, the newly assigned ministers and the justice on Monday, and collectively the House approved. It's not as if, you see, so for the appointments committee, the appointment committee cannot go or do against or do anything against what the House agreed collectively. So the House have to, there is a reason. if we want to what do you call it redo it, because the appointments committee is a subsidiary of the parliament. They do not just do what they want. You understand? The house has given them a mandate, and so for that matter, if you feel that the appointments committee should do otherwise, there's a procedure. You need to file a motion, which was stated. But if you come and give an opinion will continue to be an opinion. You understand? And the standing orders are clear. You need to file a motion.
His opinion shouldn't be considered.
No, but your opinion can be considered, but your opinion cannot be the final decision for the whole house to take.
Right.
You understand? So if he had concerns right from the get-go, when Parliament was recalled on Monday, when they say you should have raised the concerns that standard procedure should have been 14 days, and so for that matter, the vetting of the Chief Justice should not be included in the affairs or the scheme of affairs come this Thursday, then probably a motion would have been filed for the House to vote upon and agree. But at the appointment committee, it's not as if you filed a motion for the members of the appointment committee to vote on whether to even proceed or not. You came to read what do you think should be done. You understand? And you read, the standard procedure, we used to do it, and this and that. And the chairman said that this was a decision taken by the House. And so for that matter, if we have to, take a different decision, it must go back to the House. And there are procedures in doing that. What is happening in this country? If you talk, they will threaten you. If you talk, look at who we have given you time. You had the whole time to read a whole, opinion on what you think. You are saying that if you have given the opinion to talk, then you come back to say that if contradicting himself. You understand? It's I don't know. But I feel that the NPP have to take a closer look at their leadership at Parliament. He is not helping them. Seriously, it's not just about making noise. Yesterday when you watch the vetting of Honorable Mahama Yariga, very calm, demure in delivering, and he cooked Afenyomakin very well. He made sure that Afenyomakin asked him to describe him. So you are a troubling boy, because he'll be on the ground, but he said that when I get up, meanwhile you're on the ground. He's sitting down, but when I get up. So those kind of hula baloo just want to create an atmosphere of confusion when there is none. Because for me, I would even agree that you have genuine concerns. Perhaps because the justices they need to be there. Are sometimes they do background checks of them. People will have to send memos about what they think about them and all that. But you see, the practice in this country, I am yet to hear about a justice or a nomination to the Supreme Court or a certain court that has been rejected by the appointments committee. The minority may always have concern, but the majority always have their way. They always pass it. During their era, there were chief justices and justices we express concern about their legitimacy or their competence and whatever based on their records. And it is right that we give at least 14-day period for people to send in those memos, concerns, questions, and all that. It is, but that's how you go about it, as if there are no alternatives.
Right.
There are alternative ways to go about. So, I'm struggling, but I know the vetting has gone on. We'll urge the justices of the Supreme Court who have been duly, vetted and approved to go and make sure they are to serve Mother Ghana. Their mandate is to make sure that, because the judiciary in this country is our last resort in the scheme of affairs. And so for that matter, for the president to nominate them and appoint them, that means that he has firm conviction and trust in them, that indeed they can deliver as justices of the Supreme Court. And so we are looking forward to their working for Mother Ghana. For the minority concerns, it may be genuine, but how they go about it, it is the wrong way. Because what the appointments committee has done or have been doing, it is not against any law. It is just procedure.
He said you are doing too much with the
He's also doing too much.
Majority.
He's also when they had the opportunity, what didn't they do in this country? You summon a whole Supreme Court on Friday that they don't sit. Unprecedented in the history of our books.
Let me go to Esquire. Esquire.
I'm not advenientist.
I'm prophesying.
I'm not called on to drop the title.
Please don't do that.
Like Rashid Tanko of NDC, who was using a title doctor. Meanwhile,
it's okay. We are not there. Let's go.
Sometimes you see we have to put it in proper perspective. So it's important we look at this issue. It is the mandate of the president to appoint. ministers under Article 76 or 70 something, 77 or so of the 92 Constitution. So 78, Article 78. So I don't have an issue when President appoints ministers of state. There's no problem with that. I, however, have an issue based on the principle President Mahama held in opposition when it comes to the appointment of the justices. You remember President Mahama told us that President Akufo-Addo is packing up the course. You remember that?
Yeah,
and he promised that when he come into office, he's going to cap the Supreme Court justices at 15.
Yeah.
You remember that? Let me submit. Let me submit that today, as we speak, President Mahama has appointed 10 justices to the Supreme Court. Right? He has appointed 21 justices to the Appeal Court. He has also appointed 37 justices to the High Court. And then 52 justices to the Circuit Court. In all, President Mahama has done 120 appointments to the judiciary. This is the man who promised not to pack the court, not to pack the judiciary. And what is even scary is that in opposition, they told us that when they come, they are going to appoint their people to the Supreme Court to balance the bench. In effect, they are going to appoint members of the NDC to the bench so that when there's, a critical issue that needs to be discussed or, decided on, the appointed NDC justices would deliver in their favor. This is why we believe that the judiciary of this country is not in its proper form. The judiciary of this country is dangling. The judiciary of this country is being jeopardized.
You will cry.
We were in this country when, by way of a Rambo style, a certain Chief Justice was removed. And, not long ago, 7 justices were appointed. Today, we are talking about 3 other justices that is added to the Supreme Court. So today, we are talking about no less than 20-something justices of the Supreme Court. And to think that President Mahama said he's going to cap it at 9, it speaks of the lack of principles on the part of the NDC and the president in general, on the president. I mean, he is the highest person of this country. We expected him to hold his principles, whether in power or in opposition. But he has proven lack of principles in many instances, and this is one of them. Promising to cap the Supreme Court justices at 15, and today you are doing over 20-something plus. It's scary. It's scary. Now imagine it was President Akufo-Addo who appointed 120 to the Supreme Court, to the judiciary. Imagine President Akufo-Addo. What would people say? And you see, yesterday I saw Ghana Web. They said they fact-checked the statement that he appointed 120 and they found that it was not true. And they relied on Article 48 of the 92 Constitution. That's why I came with my Constitution. Article 48 states that, subject to the provision of this article, the power to appoint persons to hold or to act in judicial office shall be vested, subject to the approval of the President. Subject to the what? Approval of the President in respect of the Circuit Court justices. Now, there's a principle that states that qui facit per allum facit per se. He who does an act through another does it himself. So if the president approve the appointment of 52 Circuit Court justices, that means he's in effect doing it himself. So you understand the situation. I am sad as a Ghanaian to tell you that in just one year, 6 months, a total of 120 has been appointed to the judiciary. Now imagine the remaining years, how many more will come? Imagine how many more will come. Meanwhile, we didn't even do up to that number when we were in office for 8 good years. For 8 good years. That is why we believe that the judiciary is now jeopardized. Because the delivery of justice, I mean, I don't doubt the competence of those who are being appointed. But when the president makes statements to that effect and followed it with appointments subsequently, it tells you that there's a certain narrative and there's a certain direction. And we must be worried.
And what narrative?
The statement that suggests that they are going to appoint justices to balance the bench of the Supreme Court is one statement that, I mean, in any serious country, it must be investigated. To ascertain the true intent of the president.
So the president should be interrogated to explain the statement he made.
Yes.
But what meaning do you draw into that statement yourself?
The meaning I draw into that is that, in effect, we are politicizing the judiciary system.
When he says he's balancing the
yes,
bench.
But what do you understand by when I tell you that I'm going to appoint justices to the Supreme Court to balance the bench?
Is that the only meaning?
He said they are people. And that is even why we are worried that they will appoint their people to go to the bench to balance it, because they believe that over the years the Supreme Court has not always ruled in their favor.
It's not true.
And you see, when you don't have a case, you don't expect justice to be done in your favor when you don't have case.
Always.
And that is why
always we didn't have case.
And if you observe your party, your modus operandi has always been to come to the media, declare people guilty of offenses. When they ask you to go to court, you are not able to do that.
Today, so what's the problem today when you guys?
So because they don't always have evidence, but they like to lay claims or allegations against people, they always come and do it. And then when they force them to go to court, they go to court and they don't secure conviction, because they always come to accuse people without evidence. And NPP, as a party of learning people, or as a party of intellectuals, we learn. We look at the circumstance of the case and we find out the possibility of securing conviction when we go to court. That is why you don't see NPP going to court to, challenge any instance or any case without facts. If you have, you are not a lawyer, but you are always in the library. I'm sure you have come across the NPP 31st December case, the NPP case. As a party, and that's why I believe that we are more democratic than the NDC. We have always challenged a lot of cases in court and we have won.
Right.
The case of J.H. Mensah versus Attorney General, the former majority.
Right.
Today.
So how are you relating this to the workout?
I'm only telling you that.
So how are you relating this to the workout?
You walked out as a
because you see, I'm saying that I'm just trying to let him understand, or let the entire Ghanaian people understand that today, as we speak, we are jeopardizing the judiciary. Because of the unending appointments the president is making to the judiciary.
But are the appointments needed?
You see?
Are they needed?
Are they needed?
Yes.
Based on the principle or the logic of the president, we don't need them.
And based on the statements he made?
Yes. He said that they should cap it at 15. So I share that vision with president. And I believe that it's not needed.
So he should stop appointing.
Yes.
Right.
So basically that's what I'm saying.
Right. So Barma, your last words before we go.
I think that the president is saying that the Supreme Court justices should be capped at 15. He has not trespassed it. They were 9. He's adding 3 more. 10, 11, 12. So we are still in order. No call for alarm. He who is not a criminal and does not commit an offense, you should not be afraid of the courts being packed. You say you believe in their competence in one breath, then in another breath you say the president say you are appointing our people. So if the people are competent, they can go and not do the bidding of the president. That can also happen anyway. Or is it the case that during your era, the people also appointing the NPP people, and for that matter, all the rules that are going in your favor, we are afraid that today it will not happen. We have a Supreme Court justice.
That's why you should not make those statements.
We have a Supreme Court justice.
Because we know it's
we have a Supreme Court. We have a Supreme Court justice at the moment. His name is Justice Enes Gawu, a known NPP parliamentary candidate in the 2020 elections, was appointed by you to the Supreme Court. That was how dangerous our judiciary was. during your era, a known political affiliate of your political party.
Are you questioning his confidence, his brilliance?
Thank you. So today I don't think you have a case. Then today why are you bothered? We don't even have.
I'm not bothered.
See, the man was on the poster.
I'm not bothered.
Of an NPP flyer.
Oh, but you should understand. I'm not bothered because of the people they are appointing. I'm not bothered because of the competence of those who are being appointed.
Yes.
I'm only worried that, as I agree with the president, we should not have so many justices of the Supreme Court.
It's fine. It's the judiciary he appointed, not just his.
You understand?
He has not breached his promise of 15.
I'm only telling you
he
that
has not breached his
I
promise
share
of 15.
the vision of the president.
Yes.
And so we are all in Adidas.
But he has not.
Myself and the president agree.
He has not breached
that we should not appoint more than.
He has not breached his promise. That is fact.
What was the promise?
15 Supreme Court justices.
He didn't say how many justices do we have today?
We have 9. He has
which
9? 11, 12.
No.
Which 9?
Hey,
10, 11, 12.
Do your research well. Now we have over 19 justices of the Supreme Court.
Well,
do your research. Adding the three, will make how many? 22 justices of the Supreme Court.
But from that is the justices that we already have, or the one that President Mahama
the one we already have,
appointed.
including the 19 now.
Well,
so add the three.
Review,
add the three.
The
22
review is included. So until the constitutional review is being implemented, then we'll go about what you are saying. So
what I'm saying is that if President Mahama believes that it should be 15, I also share that vision. Why is he now doing 23?
We'll get there. The President Mahama came to meet some people. He didn't appoint the 15 people, so he didn't breach the promise.
And so you can imagine
if
one year 6 months you have appointed 10.
Right.
The remaining 2.5 years you may be doing more than 10.
We may not even appoint.
So
you never know.
From what I have here, it says that President Mahama has appointed in total 10 justices to the Supreme Court. Yes. He appointed 7 justices in June, and also appointed 3 in August 2026. That is making it 10.
And the total of the justices at the Supreme Court now are
22.
How are they 22?
We had 19. I said we had 19.
But per what he is supposed to appoint?
Including he alone appointed 10. Right? So that means we had 9. Do you understand?
Yeah.
He appointed 10.
He didn't breach his point. He has not appointed 15.
Sorry. No. Let's get it right. Including the 10, we are going to have 22.
Yes.
Excluding the 10, we are going to have about
9.
No, excluding the 10, we are going to have 12.
We are going to have 12. Good, very well. We're going to have 12. So plus the 10.
Yes.
22.
22. Yes.
So that means he came to meet 12.
But it is not the person that appointed all of them, so that he has not breached his promise.
But what are you saying? He said we should cap it at 15.
We have a constitutional
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
A constitutional review which would then implement those things so that it will limit the powers of the president.
I'm worried that you are mentioning constitutional review. Yes. Something that is not enforced.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
don't mention it. It is not as part of our process. It's not there.
Our time is over fast.
Last words.
So his last words.
Incoming Deputy National Communications Officer Era Adams Karim. I would like to urge all the delegates across the length and breadth of this country that come December, and they should all go out in their numbers and vote for Era Adams Karim for the Deputy National Communications Officer. He speaks with so much confidence, alacrity. I mean, he speaks with facts. And recently has urged all of us to make sure that all communicators, including our friends in the NPP, the likes of Identity Committee, know that politics is a politics of ideas, not politics of, machoism and all that. That is what they are known for. And so, and all that. So, we also like to, urge the delegates that are going for Honorable Neil and Van der Poel. Recently was in Kumasi to celebrate the Muslim community during their Maulid. You should go all out and vote for, Honorable Neil and Van der Poel as our chairman. Now, the National Communications Officer role, we have Hamza Suhini is going for National Communications Officer. So we'd like to urge all our delegates once again to vote for Hamza Suhini for the National Communications Officer role. Now when you go to Suhum, we have one of my friends called Michael Fianyo, full potential. He's going for the Communications Officer for Suhum constituency. So I would like to urge all delegates in the Suhum area to please vote for Michael Fianyo for the position of the Communications Officer there. Now when you go to West Central, lastly, West Central constituency, we have Honorable Nuruddin Bitis. He was the Deputy Communications Officer for West Central. He's going for the, current West Central position, the Communications Officer. So we'd like to urge all delegates, all branch executives within the West Central constituency to go all out and vote for Nuruddin Kotia Bitis for the communications officer for Wa Central, and also our national youth organizer position, Okai Minta. Okai Minta. We would like to urge all delegates across the country
different topic
to vote for Okai Minta for the national youth organizer position. Okai Minta has proven to the party that he was part of our youth working committee. He's the chairman of the current youth working committee at the youth wing, and he is aspiring for the national youth organizer position. He is indeed the leader we need, and he has sent signal that Efutu, the minority leader's position, will fall in 2028, and I believe that he will take away that seat for the minority leader.
Thank you so much, Brima. And that was a different topic on its own. Mr. Razak.
Thank you very much. As I've stated, as part of the run-up to the executive elections, the national executive elections, I have stated already the candidates that I believe are in a better position to help the party come into office 2028. And I believe that, to admonish and also to state that Miracles Abuaji should be our communications officer. If we must win, if we might put pressure on the NDC to, get them to play to our card and then we'll win election 2028. We need to have Miracles Abuaji, who has been a proven top communicator of the party. Also, women's organizer, we have Hawa Kumsen, Mavis Hawa Kumsen, who has proven to be an industrious woman, intelligent, and she deserves and she's in the right position to lead the party in the women's wing. And also the chairmanship position, Boachi Ajaku, the intelligent, experience, and prepared to lead the party NPP. And so I call on the members of the NPP, the delegates, and the power handlers to give it to Ms. Honorable Boachi Ajaku.
Right, we wish you all the best in the elections. We wish you all the best. May the best man win. And thank you so much for joining us right here on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We had such an incredible time with Mr. Abdul Razak, the NPP communications team member, and also we had the NDC communications team member, Brima Mudasi. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the morning show. We'll come your way same time next week. Enjoy your weekend.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations from Accra to the world. We bring